All of life. Oh. I shall explain life to you, Chill. Let me explain life to you. Is never doing what you want to do. It's doing what other people want you to do. Whoa, this camera is way off. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then getting the fuck up anyway and doing it. And then realize, now here's the backdrop. You think, I don't want to do this. Now, to quote Chris Beckloff, the only thing worse than having a job is having no job at all. So it's this constant battle where you don't do anything. You take, in my case, 2 hours off. In some of your cases, it might be 2 weeks. And then you sit there and you twiddle your thumbs like, fuck, what do I do? Like, oh, shit. And so then the quandary or the paradox or the philosophy is, well, you might as well attack it when you don't want to do it because what the fuck? But then there's the question of, do you exist? Are you just this ping pong being battled back and forth between forces of the universe? And I really do want to just retire. I really do. But then what would I do? I'd golf and I'd hike and I would love it. I'd love it. I know exactly what I would do, but inevitably that would end. And then you'd be that. The reason Cappy looks like, I don't know if you could see it. Is that the right way? Is that this side? No, this is the side. Yeah, there we go. I don't see if I'm all pockmarked. I have not started meth. But me and the Great One got some kind of rash from trees or bushes we hiked through over in Moab. And I've been fighting that off. So if you're like, well, did Cappy take up meth? No, I don't live in Wyoming. I'm not that white. So I guess we got to do this shit. I have to transfer the lion's share of my wealth out of the state of Minnesota because I was going to do it anyway. It's called Capital Flight. Also, the Twin Cities, long before the petulant little socialist cocksucking children decided to throw a temper tantrum and their pussy parents, known as liberal white pussies of Minneapolis and St. Paul, allowed it to happen. Oh my God, I'm so guilty. What did we do? This was me already leaving. It's called Capital Flight. It's called brain drain. However, here's an interesting concept of brain drain. If the entire society is not going to heed the civil engineer, hey, we ought to block that river or put up a dam or a dike or something like that. We ought to shore this up. We ought to, so the village doesn't get flooded. If they were never going to listen anyway, was there ever the potential possibility of production in that case? So I guess Minneapolis and Minnesota is not going to lose out because they're never going to listen anyway. Perfect example is my buddy DT. Sorry, I got a damn frog in my throat. DT, for example, is a civil engineer. But now you know what DT's problem was? He has two major problems, two major mistakes he made. He chose to be white and he chose to be male. Well, we just can't have any of that in pussy liberal white Minnesota. Oh my goodness. By the way, if you haven't figured it out, anybody from Minnesota, the Twin Cities particularly, if they say, I'm from the Twin Cities, you can punch them. If they're white, you can punch them right in their face. They won't do a fucking thing because they're pussies. Look at our mayor. Their mayor. Anyway, going back to this point about capital flight, which is a foreign concept and the theory thereof. Did the state of Minnesota, let's broaden it to that, the state of Minnesota really lose an intelligent person? Did they really lose all the capital potential, all the economic potential of my good friend DT at theblackbrigade.org, by the way, if you want to listen to his own podcast? Did they really lose anything? The answer is no, because they weren't going to listen to him anyway. They were too busy with politics and hiring this person of that skin color, this person with that kind of made up gender, or whatever. Oh, I got it. And then not to mention meetings that have nothing to do with engineering or the structural integrity of bridges. It was literally just, why am I here? Hey, I don't care about this. Do you want to build a bridge or not? So Minnesota, as you will see, will slowly become Michigan, Minneapolis, Detroit. because they never wanted excellence. They never wanted, well, standards, period. Forget excellence, like standards, bridges not collapsing. Don't worry, it'll happen. So when old Cappy moves his capital out of the Twin Cities, but it doesn't matter because we're in a national, they'll get money from elsewhere. But I pull myself, hey, there's a housing crash. Everybody in Plymouth, stop building condos. That ain't whatever DT could have stopped the bridge from falling. I could have prevented, like, at least in the Twin Cities, at least 1,000 families from going bankrupt, 1,000 contractors from having hard. It was never going to happen. And so since it is fated, since no one was going to listen, what skills intelligent, competent, independent-minded people might bring to a community or not, if the community doesn't want to hear that, or they're so racist, bigoted, and sexist because of your skin color or your penis, they're not going to listen to you, then there was never going to be the chance or the opportunity of you to benefit that society. And so it is incumbent upon the individual, like, well, if you care about things like, well, are people going to listen to me? Which I don't anymore. How much money are you going to pay me? That's really what it boils down to. But if you're like, well, I'm going to leave. Well, at minimum, you guys aren't going to listen. Minimum, you're not going to do. Minimum, you're not going to aim for standards, let alone excellence. You're going to play to the lowest common denominator here because you're a bunch of liberal white pussies and a bunch of non-liberal white pussies who want to live off the liberal white. But the Eloy and the Musks, I'm thinking of Elon Musk. Hang on, the Eloy. I don't have to talk much about Minneapolis because it's the Eloy and Eloy. Morlocks. It's the Eloy and the Morlocks. That's what you're seeing in the Twin Cities. I'm coming up with nothing new. I've got a bunch of emails. Cappy, what about Minneapolis? Eloy and the Morlocks. That's it. That's all this is. That's all this is. I'm going to address it later, but it's going to be very short because I don't care to talk about it. Point I'm on now is that there are no standards. You don't want objective, clear. We want the roads paved. We want the streets cleaned. And who can deliver the highest quality of this standard in our society at the lowest price? Well, that would be whoever it is. It could be a black. It could be a black female. No. But that would require that said black female theoretically is the best engineer or the best street sweeper. Something as simple as that, the best street sweeper. But since pussy liberal white Minnesotans cannot slice their wrists fast enough, a whole new set of rules have been created to determine what is and is not going to be implemented in today's economy in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. And so it is purely academic. If you are a successful person, if you are a hardworking person, if you dare achieve excellence in your life, I am sorry, this is not the state you're looking for. You should go elsewhere. You may have to go to a different country because socialists are, above all else, jealous and petty and inferior. And they can't stand it when you're better than them at anything. And so you have to go to an economy or culture or country where it's like, we not only appreciate excellence, but we reward it. And that, I'm sorry, these are not the droids you're looking for. This is not the state you're looking for. I don't know if I mentioned this before. This is a state of liberal white pussies who care above all else equality at the lowest level. That's it. There you go. So the great one left. Now I have to go and move my funds out of state, not as a retaliatory strike against the Twin Cities and the fuckery that is going on right now, but that I was leaving anyway because this is not where I want to live. And related to fuckery, related to the lowest common denominator, related to, is everybody okay? Oh my God, I'm a pussy liberal, white Minnesota. Are you all right? Are you? My husband's making all the money, but I'm making sure. Are all the not white people okay? Oh my goodness, are you all right? Oh, I'm on this board. Oh, did you teach my children to hate them? Okay, good. I just want to transfer my funds. That's it. Now, that's a fair amount of funds. I don't want to lose my funds. So I go to my bank and I have a gal there. I'm like, okay. Is this person going to transfer the decades of life that I've worked up saving? Like, this is literally my life, like you've saved, this is all money is just your time. If you didn't know that, money is your time. That's it. That's just a physical incarnation of your time that after you work, you combine it. It forms, it's like Voltron. It unites, it forms into money. And then with that money, you are allowed to exchange for other people's time. That's all an economy is. Your time for other people's time. Make sure your time is more valuable than others. Don't major in worthless shit. There's a book called Worthless. There you go. So I'm like, I've stored up a lot of my life here. And listen to the latest podcast by the great one, sinlibsoch.com. Just for him, what was he trying to order? He was trying to order a microphone, I believe, or some stereo equipment. And the hell he just wanted to buy a fucking microphone. Let's just say it was a microphone. Doesn't matter. Speaker microphone. It was a physical thing he wanted to buy. And a good half an hour is him explaining the hell he went through because the microphone came in, it didn't work, da-da-da, can I get a refund, da-da-da, ba-da-ba. And you're like, okay, that's a microphone. This is a significant percentage of my life that I've saved up that is critical to the purchase and building of my house. Now, I call up the bank. They don't have local numbers. This is the 1-800 number. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And I like, hey, I got to move some money. But you can't even say that because press 5 for this, press 1 for that. Press el número 2 para español. Fuck you. I'm like, oh, I'm going into normie conform. I have to rely on a second world system to not fuck this up. They cannot fuck this up. So I sent $1,000 over as a trial run. Like, all right, did it get there? It did. Great. The person who sent it over, that's my girl. That's the gal. She did it right. Now, I had some reservations. I won't say why. And by the way, Aaron, is this about minorities working at your bank? Knowing yes, because it's apparently nothing but minorities that work at the bank. But apparently, here's an argument for the minorities. Apparently, these jobs are too low class for white Americans. So should I be like, hey, these are hardworking immigrants that have done this? And it has nothing to do with the immigrants. This is just the fact you happen to be here. Yeah. Do you have a lot of experience with this? Like, like when I go and I get a heart transplant or whatever, I'm sorry, unless your name's Ben Carson, I don't want a black surgeon. Don't want a Latino. Love Atham. Love Juan. Love those guys to death. Nope. No affirmative action surgeons working on old Cappy's heart. And you motherfuckers do the exact same thing. I want an Asian. I don't even know if I want a white guy. Honest to God. I want an Asian or I want a Jew. That's what I want. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Professor Yang, yeah, you grew up, okay. You were discriminated against at Harvard Medical School because they wanted to get rid of all the Asians because they thought, and you still made it. Hey, you're my guy because this is my ticker, all right? I want you, yes. Herschel Shlomo Hopschlutz. Hey, how you doing, Dr. Hopschlutz? Yeah. Oh, you did make it on merit. Okay. You weren't just passed along. Okay, yeah, I want you. And so since this is, this is kind of important. I'm like, how long you been in the country? And it's not even where you're from. It's how long you been here? Do you know how to press these keys? Do you know how to do transfers? How many have you done? Oh, okay. Now you're fresh off the boat. You barely speak English. Yeah, I'm not going to go to this bank. I'm going to make damn sure this gets across. So I had a gal, which domestic American, but other concerns I've had, because just because you're a foreigner or an immigrant doesn't fucking mean you have your shit together, as everybody I'm sure is intricately aware. If you notice, no more than 10 years ago, you could assume in the left lane, driving slower than fuck, 10 miles an hour on the speed limit, it's going to be old or Asian. Not to plagiarize Bill Burr, but he's 100%. They're either old or Asian. Now, that ain't the case no more. You cannot predict, and everybody in the chat room and all you listeners are going to know, you can't predict anymore. It was almost a guarantee in the left lane, driving slower than fuck, old or Asian. Now, there's no correlation at all. You see someone driving spectacular. Hey, look at that guy. He's got skill. Look at that guy. He's moving in and out. I'd be frustrated in that position too. Then you catch up to him. It's not him. It's this little 13-year-old. Well, not 13. You have to be 16. A 16-year-old black girl who's got hustle. Who's this slow fuck? Can't drive for crap. What fucking immigrant? Blah, blah, blah. Asian, old, probably Asian and will pull up. White dude. Whiter than Whitey McFuck. There's no correlation at all. So now I'm like, oh, I don't trust any of you motherfuckers, because now everybody is becoming a normie, conformie, and inferior. Unless his name's Atham or Juan or Vince or Chad, I don't trust any of you motherfuckers, because I was in Wyoming and I had to do the Wyoming 3 all the time. The white people couldn't get a fucking goddamn sub right. Couldn't get a sub right. Are you going to get pretty much the lion's share of my life's work right? Are you going to get it to the right bank account, or is it just going to go blow away? So I'm like, okay. We sent $1,000 over. All right, it worked. All right. The path seems to work. I'm going to send the rest over. I got the woman's card. Call me here. All right, I will. You seem to do good the first time. All right, you know what you're doing. It got there. Call up. Oh, she's not in here today. Well, where the fuck is she? I didn't say it that way, because the woman who answered, who was not from the United States, but very nice. I asked her where she was from, and she giggled because I guess I took interest. I'm like, and I asked, why the fuck did you move here? Because she's actually from a very nice place. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And she, hope she does well. Wish her the best. Don't want her transferring my funds. Sorry. Unless you're a fund transport expert. Well, where is she? Well, she's at a different bank. Okay, you got the number for that branch? Yeah, here it is. Very helpful. Thank you very much. Hey, is that lady there? Oh, no. I'm like, oh, fucking God. It's going to be one of these things. And per the Great Ones podcast at sinlibsocial.com, Cynical Libertarian Society, his whole point was how much time he had with the internet. We have the internet now. It should be a lot easier. How should be easier now because they got the internet. How much time he pissed away trying to do this shit. I have a dentist buddy. Female, by the way. Again, you all think I am a sexist. I am not. I am a huge champion of women achieving as absolute much success as possible. That's why I recommend you women stop majoring in the dumbest fucking shit. Major in engineering or accounting. This young lady, well, not so young anymore. She's older than me, so she's an old fuck like me, went to dental school. She is a dentist. She is my dentist. And she was telling me about how, because dentists are suffering, by the way, because we can't do dental work because the COVID-19 and all this other bullshit. She can't work and things are bad. So she got one of those PPP or EDL loans with the government. And I just shook my head because even Chad Elkins, yeah, Aaron, you really ought to apply for it. Like, no, you don't understand. This is the P-51 versus the Panzer, not the Panzer, Tiger tank philosophy. That process is merely going to complicate my life. You could get $10,000. Listen to me, all of you, small business owners, successful business owners, not so. You will waste more of your time had you just worked a $10 an hour job trying to figure out that PPP bullshit when it's all said and done and compliance costs, than if you hadn't taken it. And that's what she said. She worked 2 weeks. 2 weeks. This is one fucking person. Like, I don't mean one person working, doing all the work. It was only for the PPP loan would go to one person. One person. 2 weeks. Paperwork. Fill out this, fill out that, fill out this, fill out that. I'm like, I knew it. I just knew it. It's like a girl who's a 9.5 that says yes to a date with you. Don't go on that date. It's going to be way more costly and complicated than you think. Dangling that little carrot. Look at this sexy $10,000 carrot. I'm like, nope. Nope. Not today. Not today, ISIS. Not God. Remember when ISIS was our buddies? Who'd you rather chum up to? ISIS? They at least had a cause. Get the fuck out of our country and we want to institute Islam. I have more respect for ISIS now. But I look at that PPP like, nope, not today, ISIS. You're not time sinking that many hours of my life away from me, filling out forms. The site doesn't work. That doesn't. You fax it. A fax does it. Like, oh, fuck no. And so that's I like, am I about to get fucked in my ass? I'm about to get fucked in my ass. And the only thing is, like, I have to get fucked in my ass to transfer the money to where I need it to go. And so it's how do I get fucked in my ass the least? And it's a practice now in stoicism, where I realize that I'm going to have to go through an inordinate amount of bullshit to find this woman to transfer the money to make sure it doesn't fuck up. That's what it is. Just like the great one had to go on the phone to get himself a set of speakers. But I am minimalizing the amount of ass rape that is about to happen to me because I know it's going to happen. That's the first step. Knowing is half the battle, G.I. Joe. You young millennials and Gen Zers don't know what that is because fuck you guys. That's why. Knowing is half the battle. So knowing I'm about to get ass raped puts me in the right mindset not to get angry at every stage of the ass rapery. Well, where the fuck is she? Fuck, now I got to go to this other one. So I got to go to this branch. No, she's not here. I know she said, but you're in a second world country because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. This is the bank. This is the bank. The princess is in another castle. So I'm like, okay, all right. That's what today's going to be like. And I said, fuck it, I'm doing a podcast instead. So the bank that has not lubed its dick and put on Gorilla Glue and it broke a bunch of glass and it stuck the glass on its dick and wants to anally rape me with a broken glass dildo. It's not going to happen. Not today, ISIS. Not today. I'm going to wait until the person I know who transferred the funds the right way shows up at the bank that I need her to show up at. And now, while we have to wait, which, by the way, is a loss of economic efficiency, if any of you care to be economists, let's just wait in line because we're conformist American women of all races because women just like to wait in lines. I don't know why you make only 77% of what men do because you like to wait in lines. Oh my God, look at those shoes. Tina. Oh yeah! Brave, amazing, equal. Go, girl. I feel so bad criticizing women in general because there is like 20% of them that actually do go and do real shit. It's like, yeah, okay, you get, but dismiss you. I'm just talking your rank and file. So now I'm going to wait. And be like, okay, we're going to wait until that. And then I'm going to go in and it's like, hey, remember that time you did that thing with that amount of money? Can you do the same thing with this amount of money? But I'm going to have to wait till she comes because I guess because of the Wuhan flu or because the petulant little socialist children of perpetual spoiled rottenness are rioting. We can't, I'm rotating. And you know now how you have to go to the banks. Not in Utah, by the way. Not in Utah. Juan Cabrera, Clary's being racist. Yes, I'm always, dude, everything's racist now, don't you know? And when everyone's super, no one will be. When you go to the bank in the Twin Cities, or Minnesota, sorry, you don't go in to the bank. You go through the drive-thru. And it's so funny because I had to go to 3 different banks. I need to do a wire transfer. That's what's a wire transfer. And then their face, you can see it on the screen. Oh, hang on. Can you come back later? Like when later? Oh, hang on. This is second world bullshit. This is why we're not going to be able to pay you your UBI. You think I'm joking? This inefficiency. We could probably have UBI if we had the promptness, the Prussian discipline and punctuality and the efficiency of a Prussian army. We could probably actually afford a UBI. But because the fuckwits at the banks and management incorporated are like, don't train your front line. See, I don't hate the tellers. It's not the tellers' fault. They literally did not train these people. The multiple offices I went to at the bank I bank at, they literally did not train these people like, well, some people might have business outside of a deposit or a withdrawal. So now I got to wait like 5 minutes as they consume if you just trained everybody instead of having fucking meetings about diversity and sexual harassment, like, hey, what happens if someone comes through there's poor Jose. I understand Jose. He came from whatever shithole country to vote Democrat and spit out more kids that he couldn't afford, thinking it's magic dirt. But let's set this aside. Jose just wants to get by. Jose's making his mind, God, I got a work visa. He's very happy, but he's going to fuck it up by having kids he can't afford. But again, I understand. It's magic dirt. That's just how the United States became so awesome, because this magic dirt, because the Indians here, the Mesoamericans were so fucking successful before the white man showed up, right? They were launching rockets. They just never wrote it down because they didn't want to embarrass the rest of the globe. So here he is. Holy shit. Someone needs what do we do? He needs to do a wire transfer. Oh, we didn't train it. Now Jose has to take about 5 minutes of his time, go talk to the manager. The manager, probably not equally trained by his or her manager up above him. Oh, shit, I don't know. Let me call my manager. Now we've consumed cumulatively, client included, customer included, we've probably consumed 30 minutes of time. Now, had you just trained your fucking employees, and I know it's not going to happen. Boomers, older Gen Xers, train employees. They only went to the Carlson School of Management. So he comes back. Well, here's a number you should call to set up an appointment. All right. I'll call him. Hey, I need to do a wire transfer. When can I do that? Oh, let me look at my schedule. Hang up. More time wasted. We could have Chad Elkins sing while you're sitting on the phone. Bop, bop, ba, da, 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 da. The fucktards at the bank, twiddling their twat going, ah. Sorry. Wait. Can you come in June 5th? No, motherfucker. Now, by this time, you'd think there'd be a lieutenant. You think there'd be a commander in that facility. Okay, imagine the bank, that branch is a platoon. There's got to be a sergeant there. Dude, get him over here. Ba-da-ba. I get it. Everybody else is like a dumbass private. Everyone's an NPC. You got to manage it doing robotic shit. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, come on. I'll handle this. 5 minutes of my time, 5 minutes of your time, 10 minutes time lost. That's it. I would say invested. No, that doesn't exist. June 5th. You don't have someone in there who's too busy with a coffee break who could take me in, boppity 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 boo, bibbity boppity boppity bop, boom, your money's out of Minnesota. Now I got to come back June 5th. Incumbent upon me now is another hour round trip to the branch or whatever with traffic, which is surprisingly high now where I live. I think it's everybody wanting to go to Hudson, Wisconsin to be treated like an adult. Okay. And I laughed at him. I'm like, no, I'm not coming in. And then I tried another branch. And this is where I found my buddy who did the transfer. Now she's gone. Firing up that glass broken Gorilla Glue dildo I see, bank. Well played, ISIS. Well played. And like a productive individual, like an intelligent individual, I said, no, not today, ISIS. Not today. Not today, Minnesota. Not today. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to do a podcast. And so that's why we're here. Let's get through the super chats very quickly, which never works that way. Chad and I'll tell you guys another side story. Let me anchor this here with Vlad, but I'll tell you a story. So I called up Chad. Hey, Chad, you want a podcast? He's like, yeah. I said, let's do some celebrity asshole consulting and we just get it done with. And I say, this will be quick. It ain't going to be quick. And when I say it's going to be, it's never quick. Fucking 3 hours later. And God bless you guys. Thank you, all of you. But we made a bank load of money. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, and it was supposed to be for asshole consulting. We got the 2 requests because everyone kept throwing the cash. I got to pay him. I got to pay him today. Because unlike a second world bank, I actually get my shit done. All right, so let's go to Vlad. Vlad, for $5, just finished reading How Not to Become a Millennial. It's not as dark as you say. I would put it on par with Enjoy the Decline. Yeah, no, it's... See, but here's the problem, Vlad. You're intelligent. The book was originally written for like more of a mass consumption, actually, which has failed miserably because I thought millennials and Gen Zers, would there be a hope? There'd be a possibility? Or just the pure hatred boner. Do you guys all have a hatred boner for the boomers? Who here hates boomers? I do. Do you hate boomers? Get the fucking book. Because like the first third is ripping on boomers. And you don't have to read the rest of it. But I thought that would probably sell. And it didn't. But to the average normie conforming inferior, it's going to be a really bitter pill to taste. But you've built up a flavor, a taste for such harsh truths, such black pills, such red pills that to you are like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's like, well, yeah, but you've built up your tolerance. So, but I appreciate it. I'm glad you liked it. I hope you liked it. Available paperback, Kindle, and Audible. M2 PG4, $2. I got a burp. Hang on. I'm getting old. These burps that just sit there, like when you're young, just fine. And like just like farting now, you're like, you have to prepare your burps and your farts. Like, hang on, whoa, there's a bigger one. Hang on. And you all, you think I'm joking? You think I'm being funny? Just wait. You're gonna go pee a lot at night. You're gonna adjust for your farts. You're gonna like, I got a big burp. Maybe that's why we gave Piggott guff. He was like, hang on, I got the hiccups. We're like, what do you mean, hang on? He had hiccups. So what? Maybe it's a big thing. He's old as fuck. Drives like a woman. There's all these times I like slam all these different guys I know, and I hope they're listening. I'm like, oh no, man, I don't listen to you. I'm like, yeah, I understand you can't tune in all the time. I get it. I don't tune into myself. See the news. The decline has officially begun. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't. I didn't know that the riots happened until the day after. Alexander King. Hi, why is 200 ounces of silver and not another amount? And it's just, there is no reason. It's just that's what I ballparked. Like I did like a little bit of research. I shouldn't say it's ballpark. I look back at the purchasing power of metals back in this is a long time ago, like the 1880s. Before the fiat currency, certainly before 1913. I'm like, okay, this had this kind of amount of purchasing power, and it's like roughly 200 ounces. And I'm always adjusting, I'm always changing. As more evidence comes in, I obviously change my position. For example, I was very worried about the boomers retiring and selling their shares in exchange for bonds. And that actually has happened. When you adjust for inflation, that has happened. And by inflation, I mean real inflation, not the CPI. I mean, like, what are you motherfuckers paying in rent, tuition, cars, lodging, all that other stuff. Oh shit, where was I gonna go? 200 ounces. Anyway, the 200 ounces of silver. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was changing. So I changed I was like, Well, that was before Obama and Trump and Bush, by the way, Bush Jr., decided to start printing off a shit ton of money to bail us out of our own mistakes. And I'm like, oh, that changes things. And there's even a study done where they showed that the stock market no longer responds to earnings and only responds to how much credit and money printing there is, how much more money is flooded into the market. So that's inflation. And so now my investment philosophy has changed from, it's not an investment philosophy. There is no investment. I even wrote an article. There's no investment. There's just hedging against inflation, where it's like, hey, you better invest in property or real estate or stocks, a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, because that's where the money is. That's where the money's inevitably going to end up. So your dividend yields are shit. Your price to earnings ratios are shit. Your price to rents are shit. But that's where money ends up, because banks lend out money on assets, real estate, stocks, tuition. But I don't know how you invest in tuition. You invested in education so you can be a protester in Minneapolis. And precious metals, I've had a little bit of a change, but not really. I'm still with 200 ounces of silver. But if the great collapse comes, I've added an addendum. If you want to, give you 200 ounces of silver. But have some junk silver as well. You can buy them in bags. And then also copper pennies. People are like, well, melt it down. Like, no, don't melt it down. It's already in the form of a penny. It's already currency. Save your pre-1982 pennies, because those are made of copper. You got copper pipes. Melt them. I got into it more because it was fun, but I made a foundry in my backyard. Grant Thompson, who, by the way, died tragically in a hang gliding accident. Really cool YouTuber guy. I liked why he had backyard foundry. He makes swords out of aluminum, stuff like that. And so I've made ingots. I got ingots, copper ingots, and I think that's pretty good too. But it has to be divisible, and that's why I like the junk silver. So 200 ounces of silver. Now, I guess more is better, Alex. But that just, you're not selling your daughters into prostitution or slavery, you know. Like, you got 200 ounces, you could say, here's your ounce, but even that might be too valuable. Like, I'm not a big believer in gold, because gold is just too valuable, not divisible. 200 ounces of silver, it's a little bit divisible, but you could, like, all right, here's 5 copper pieces. Go protect the fucking perimeter. Okay? I'll take more than you. Yeah, but I pay my bodyguard 1 ounce of silver to protect me. So he'll kill you if you come anywhere near me. So why don't we all work together here, and then we can have lots more ounces of silver. But yeah, that's 200. That's all. I also recommend some cryptocurrency. How much, Aaron? I don't know. Some. Aaron, can it go down? Yes. Aaron, how come you can't predict the future? Never claimed I could. All right. Did we get this? Midnight Sun for $2. Doesn't Trump look like a tool hiding in a bunker? I don't know, dude. I really am trying to avoid the news. The only time I tune into the news is find out what fucking pussy white, again, pussy white. Oh, I take it back. There's Melvin Carter. I take it back. Melvin Carter is a black man. He's the mayor of St. Paul. All right. Pussy Minnesotans. Let's just put it that way. But predominantly pussy white, I'm going to point out. What pussy white motherfucker is telling me what time I got to go to bed or be inside? Thankfully, that hasn't happened over here in my county. And if I want to, I just hop over the bridge and go down. I spent a lot of time in Wisconsin. And you literally look across the river. You're like, look at those fuckers. Look at those fucking morons. But then inevitably I got to go home. But the cities have been issuing curfews in like 2 counties, Anoka and Dakota, which doesn't matter to any of you listening. And one's north, one's south. And they're predominantly white. There's nothing going on there. They're quite distant from the city. And I'm like, who are these? I don't know. Who's the mayor of a county commissioner? Is that who it is? Like, who are these fuckwits? Who are these? Guarantee you they're white people. Because nothing but white people out there. What pussy white people are out there? And they're supposed to be Republican. But as you'll find out in Minnesota, it doesn't matter if you're South. Yes, dear. You have liberal white women for liberal shit because nothing's too good for the children. They got a vice grip on their father's dick. Well, their father's dick too, maybe. But their husband's dick. And maybe their husbands quietly vote Republican. But I'm just looking like, it doesn't surprise me. You got 2 counties that should be conservative saying, fuck you. Come across there because there's a river Mississippi comes in. Actually, I think it separates Anoka. Like, yeah, come across the river, see what happens to you. And Dakota is south, and the Minnesota River comes in. They're like, yeah, come across. There's like choke points. Yeah, come across. I'd love to see what happens. If Antifa or anybody goes into these counties where it's legal to shoot you, go right ahead. Yeah, come on. I mean, there's people itching. But I haven't paid attention to it. I just don't. Is he hiding in a bunker, really? Is he? This can all end once you say, you know what? People are allowed to defend themselves and their property. And this all goes away. This all goes away. James Vosu Safor, $2 Canadian dollars. Should I major in psychology to get the girls? Only if you want to understand them, James. You could talk their lingo. You could say, oh, I too suffer from the hoods and the bipolars and the anxieties. No, it never works. Never works. Well, you've seen them. There's the picture of the liberal guys. Is going back a bit, but not Selma Hayek. Completely not her. And not Emma Watts. Emma Solkowitz. Mattress girl. There's a picture of she's carrying her mattress along with a bunch of other. There's this dopey white pussy fuck carrying like, I'm gonna get me the girls by agreeing with it. You never get women. Not saying to be a dick, not saying to be an asshole, but merely disagreeing with women. Merely disagreeing with increases your chances of getting with them at least fivefold. At least fivefold. Not saying it increases to 50%. You could have a 1% chance. But if you disagree with a woman, and not rudely, not agitatingly, but, girl says, well, I just think, I'm like, yeah, well, your thinking's wrong. What? And they'll get upset. But the tingles just went up a little bit more. Like, what? A man who, I'll show him, I'll sleep with him. That's literally, I don't want to say it's literally how it works or how simple it is, but there's more truth to that statement than you realize. There's a lot more. If you agree, you're supplicant, that obvious, we all know. I think that's 101. We know that shit. That doesn't work. But just by simply like, oh, that's cute. Nice theory you got. Oh, wow. You're a Democrat just like every other girl? Yet you're independent-minded, huh? You know what would be sexy is a girl who isn't so common and boring as you. That slam, now that's agitating, and that's slamming. That woman has a higher chance of sleeping with you than if you just, I agree with whatever, environmental, organic coffee, whatever bullshit. But no, you should not major in psychology to get the girls. However, I am pretty sure James is not stupid enough to major in psychology to get the girls. Luke Gallup, $7 Canadian dollars. Hiking Rockies nonstop during COVID. Oh, you lucky bastard. Hey, I should have stuck in Utah. I should just stayed there. I should have just stayed there with the single mom Mormon girls. Just stayed there. Been losing weight and meeting a ton of girls on the trails. Good. Talking to everyone. Get out now, guys. Thanks. Yeah. What, Luke, where are you going? Like, are you doing a stretch? You going, there's the Appalachia Trail, but there's another trail that goes from Mexico all the way to Canada. Be a little warm though down in Phoenix. But yeah, guys, get out. Just get this shit out of here. Now, if you own a property in the Twin Cities or a major metropolitan area or liberal town, well, I guess you're fucked. I guess you got bigger obligations. I love it. Not to brag, but I predict shit decades before it fucking happens, and no one listens to me. And I can make a little bit of profit off of that. But the real payoff comes when the roosters come home to roost, or the chickens come home to roost, or whatever the saying is. And on the social medias, from 20 odd years ago, I see people from the dance scene. There used to be a big dance scene in the Twin Cities. And it was good. And nothing wrong. And these are not necessarily bad or evil people. They're just dumb. They're cowards. They're lazy, liberal. Liberal white people fucks, by the way. They were predominantly white. Yes. And then I went to the Latino scene, did salsa. Obviously more Latinos there. That aside. Now I see my house is still okay, but it got pretty close. I'm like, oh, well, you did practice what you preached. I wonder if people starved in communism. Oh, did you? Oh, this is so sad. I'll get into it later, but I gotta, and it is sad. I do want liberals to suffer, but then there's a philosophical statement about humanity when this shit happens where I'm like, okay, none of this makes sense. What the fuck are you? The most obvious is, why are black people torching their own neighborhoods? Which they're not. They're looting, and some are torching. It's Antifa liberal white people from the suburbs who got a hero complex that are torching it. So, Atham looked this up. I lived in a neighborhood in Minneapolis called Seward. And if you look at it, that's right where the path of devastation went, Lake Street. And it's on the south side. Now, this neighborhood is not, it truly is diverse. It's not one group or another. There's a fair amount of immigrants, Middle Eastern, East Indian, Latino, white, black, not immigrants, but natives. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, why would they torch that? Doesn't make any sense. But just to get to the tragedy, not too far from my old place, there was a bar called the Hexagon Bar. And that's like a gutter punk bar. That's where leftists hang out. There was a co-op 2 blocks from my house ran by lesbians. That got torched. I'm like, what in F's? Why? Why are you doing this to your own people? Set aside from the fact it's leftists. Okay, fine. In a cynical, truly, I don't know, idealism way, like, I'm glad leftists are destroying other leftists' place. But take that aside. What I'm more concerned, what's really been racking in my brain is like, why are you destroying your own kind? And the sad conclusion you have to come up with is these are true NPCs. You are not going to, I even was going on an exchange with a black guy, a couple of black people actually, on Facebook. And I posted the one post I'm going to post. I'm like, why are you just, that was the whole point. Why are you destroying your city? You understand whitey, like, no. Because you don't understand, young man or young lady, what your next words coming out of your mouth means and what we're going to have to conclude. You're destroying your own town. Why? What the fuck? To make a statement. What statement? Don't invest here. Don't buy here. Don't live here. We're going to fuck your shit up. And then you realize, and you're forced, this is why I'm somewhat a little bit depressed. These people are not people. They are zombies. They are NPCs. They're not capable of independent thought. They're completely programmed. And the sad thing is, if you can't reason with a human being, show them like if you can't point out destroying your own town fucks you up, it is against you. If you can't convince them of their own best interest, fuck whatever political, racial, take it away. Destroying your own town is a bad thing. And if they don't get that, they can't be reasoned with. These are zombies. And unfortunately, force is the only thing they're going to respond to. Because you can't talk them down from this. You can't. I mean, it's like someone who's high on drugs. You're not talking to a human. I know people actually, unfortunately, very close to me, when they were high. I mean, we might as well talk to this microphone actually receives. I might as well have talked to this can of soda water. They're no longer humans. And if this can of soda water wants to kill you, you're going to have to kill it. And frankly, I don't want to kill anybody. Well, sometimes I don't. But principally, I mean, you sit down and think about it, like, wow, you're not, why am I talking? How are you typing? Like, you are talking to AI, programmed by teachers, professors, psychologists, liberals, communists to repeat whatever. And it's just a brilliant level of programming. Bravo. You have artificial intelligence. You've achieved it. It's brilliant. But there's no independent thought. There's no critical thinking. There's not a human there. This is a human body with a mechanical mind that's been programmed. It's been plopped right in there. And so that was the thing that, even though, yeah, cheer on leftists destroying their own town, I'm like, what? And it's a sad statement about humanity. That's what gets me, where I'm like, you're destroying your own town? What in F's name? The Hexagon, The hexagon, shit, tons of Marxists. That's what? The lesbian-owned co-op? Why? I'm left to cook. The only thing is you're insane. You're not and insane indicates there's a flaw in your mentality. I'm saying there's no mentality at all. You're robots. And you've been programmed by leftist Marxist teachers. Frankly, the leaders now of the municipal and state and county governments, they're the ones that trained you in this. And now it's the Eloy and the Marlock on one aspect, but it is also the Frankenstein monster. All, the governor, Mayor Fry, Mayor Melvin, the black guy that hates white people, which doesn't narrow it down. The Muslim black guy that, Louis Farrakhan, no. His pussy never worked a real job in his life, and his son is also a pussy, never worked a job. Keith Ellison, he's the attorney general. They're like, oh shit, we gotta get the National Guard. Oh my God, our Frankenstein monster is attacking us. Like, didn't you train these people to hate society and think they're perpetually abused and oppressed? And now you're surprised they're rioting? But they're attacking their own town? And it's like, yeah, the Frankenstein monster wasn't that brilliant. He just attacked what was in front of him. And it's the lack of intelligence, the lack of sentience, like where it's I guess you could say mob mentality. It's like, but what if you spent all this time building free housing? What if you did that? What if you all volunteered at Habitat for Humanity? All this energy, you'd have lower and cheaper housing. But I like it. Cappy has a volume of work over here where I've tried to reason and rationalize with society. And all I got called was a racist or a sexist or whatever, elitist. Don't care. Because in a few short months, after I work on a couple other projects, Cappy's going to go get his own Gorilla Glue. He's going to get his own pieces of broken glass. He's going to put it on his dick. And he's going to fuck society up. I'm going to fuck society up. I don't mean I'm going to go protest. I'm like, oh, it'll be lubed. You think you're getting fucked good, but you will have your ass torn up when I'm through with society for the lies and Operation Evil I'm about to unleash. Because it's like, oh, I see now. And maybe I've come to this epiphany like the Democrats. They only view you people as cattle. I don't know how the black community can not see that. Of course, I guess, given your indoctrination and brainwash. Whitey, white McWhite. Oh, whitey. And then it's like, you don't see how they're like totally owning you? After 50 years of living in Democratic shitholes, maybe try Plan B. Not saying you got to vote Republican. Hey, here's another idea. At the local level, why don't you run your own a black party? What? Idea? Just an idea. Why do you have to fall into the bipolar dichotomy of Democrat, Republican? Why don't you? Okay, we vote at the state and national level, Republican, Democrat, but here, Bob's Black Party. I'm not talking Black Panther. Bob's Black Party. What are you gonna do, Bob? I'm gonna help out the black people in my neighborhood. All right, yay, Bob. Go, Bob. What? But still, get Whitey. I know everyone, y'all like, Cappy, I know, our black listeners, Cappy, it won't work because X, Y, Z. I know. It's a theoretical question. But yeah, so for meantime, they're all on autopilot, Luke. They're all on autopilot. They're not gonna, just go hike. I came back way too early. I was like, yeah, I've been gone for 2 weeks. Kind of tired, time to get back. No, not worth it. Not worth it. Just, and I get asked, it's like, try, guys. I really try hard not to get, and I know enjoy the decline. I should be cheering on, leftists killing leftists when no one's killed anybody, thankfully. Well, I know 1 or 2 deaths, but a contact of mine pointed out that the district that's most fucked up, my old district, 90% voted Democrat. Cappy, is that enjoy the decline? Yes, in a literal, soulless, spiritualless kind of way. Yeah, I should be happy. But then there's a bit of me that still has like, because all I have to fight for is humanity and the future, because I'll die and I won't be conscious afterwards. That's my philosophy. I've accepted that. This is the only game in town, so I want to cheer on Team Human, but then I look at Team Human, I'm like, God damn. I mean, I'm very flummoxed, very contradicted, very what's the word I'm looking for? Conflicted. Like, this is the only team to cheer for, but they're killing their own philosophical kind. They're destroying themselves. All I'm left to conclude is to profit off of them, to make my life, my finite life on this planet, easier. And the irony of the backdrop where Elon Musk launches a rocket up in was the first private sector launch, and it worked successfully. I'm like, hey, guys, instead of fucking around destroying your own neighborhood bars and pharmacies, how about we work on that shit? I hope you understand, though, the real villains here are your teachers and professors, okay? And I'm not joking. This is the funny shtick. I'm being deadly serious, okay? Headed up by leftist, Democrats, socialists, right. But these people are the ones that indoctrinated you into becoming these mindless zombie robots that go and destroy your own town. To hate, blame all your problems on a particular race or group of people. Blame it on a particular sex. I mean, that is who is responsible. And the types of Mayor Fries and Governor Walz was a teacher. And now they're shocked. They're afraid. You guys created the Frankenstein monster, and now it is attacking you, and you're shocked. And you know what? Just like Dr. Frankenstein, not the Frankenstein monster, Dr. Frankenstein's who created it, he's a pussy. He's this academic pussy, and he gets fucked up. And you're getting fucked up. All you pussy liberal white people in the Twin Cities and Minnesota, you're getting fucked up. Because ain't none of you had the balls or discipline to say, stop having kids you can't afford. Don't major in stupid shit. Nobody's bad or good because of their skin color or the gender. All right. Traits are not more valuable than accomplishments. And you taught this fucked up religion that is not based on reality. And now you're surprised that your first real full generation of people brought up on this poison, this mental poison, are fucking shit up. You didn't teach them about the real world. You didn't teach them all about, hey, we need trades, we need military, we need accountants, we need engineers, we need doctors. What'd you think was going to happen? So Enjoy the Decline, guys. Boy, Enjoy the Decline should be a #1 bestseller right now, huh? Cappy, didn't you write that almost 10 years ago? Yes, I did, intrepid people. Observant people, I did write that. That's how fucking good I am. And it's not because I'm smart. It's just because I have the balls to acknowledge and speak to just how pathetic and wrong most humans are. Say, oh yeah, this is going to be fucked up in about 10 years. Oh my God. You know those people we spent like literally $10 trillion on over 20 years educating? And we educated them, and Marxist leftist self-pitying victimhood studies slop. They're rioting. Oh my God. And they don't have any skills. And they're so stupid. They're destroying what little economy they have. Oh, hey, and you immigrants that came here, you thought, oh, Minneapolis is so welcoming. Yeah, now that your falafel shop is destroyed, how'd that work out? How's voting the big D, right? Because that's free money. Look where free money got you guys, huh? Oh, it's so great. Not that the suburbs are anything better. They have their own whole world of bullshit and fuckery. Judd Grover, $2. Oh, wow, another protest, riot, injustice. Who cares? Yeah, thanks, Judd. That's where I'm going after this. Where did I lose it? 1020. Hang on, we got to scroll up. Zachary Lind. Do I have to go back in and log in again? All right, I am. Everybody take a break. I got to log in because it went too long. Take a break. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I can't. I think they took away classic. That's how you would get into it. I could look up the archive of requests. So I apologize. If you made a donation before 10:01, I'm not going to be able to get to it. So I'm terribly sorry. We're going to have to start with Zachary. Actually, look, let's just be communal. Unless here's what would really help. For example, I'm going to go through the chat room here. Okay, no one's really taking advantage of it. But in the olden days, like yesterday, it was like last week, if you keep putting posts, it bumps up everybody else's super chats. And I will ban you, by the way. If you start clogging up the chat room, that bumps it up. And then Google only saves like however many super chats behind. So don't do that. Okay. We got some good men and women. They spend their good money here. Like here's a perfect example. What the fuck is that? Like, hang on, let's get rid of that fly. Got him. Like, make a whole statement, make a paragraph, say your piece, and then don't make a bunch of other comments. All right, so Zach, for $2, Spider 500 S&P 500 ETF higher Spider high yield. It probably have a higher dividend yield. Yeah, if it's dedicated, the S&P 500 high yield, they probably only choose the top 500 stocks in the United States with a high dividend yield. I don't know. I'd have to take a look at it. Not for $2. Judd Grover, $2. Double meaning. Most women are effing stupid. Laugh. No, they're not. They're not. When I wrote the book, Curse of the High IQ, there's a flatter bell distribution curve. It's the greater distribution theory or whatever, greater variance theory. Men have a greater variance than women on pretty much everything. We have more poor and we have more rich men than women. We have stronger, I guess, more weaker men, though men's strength because of testosterone. So that's not a good example. Less educated, but we have more GEDs and high school dropouts, but yet more doctorates. I mean, in real shit, not the liberal arts or the social sciences. That's not an education. That's worthless brainwashing. Women are just a tighter on IQ as well. So there are more intelligent men and there are more dumb men than women. Now, when you come to, and here's a big mistake everybody makes in this sphere. If you're tuning into this eccentric stuff, this edgy stuff, chances are you have a higher IQ. But a big mistake a lot of high IQ people make, and get my book, Curse of the High IQ. I'll show it right here. Is that the one? Oh, here we go. Get this book. This will educate you and help you understand different people. A lot of things smart people make is they think they're average, and especially men. And then here you are, sitting. Women could be this way. Let's see, you got 130 IQ. Most people, male or female, are dumber than shit. So to women, they're like, my God, men are fucking stupid. And the guys, my God, women are fucking stupid. It's like, no, you're just that smart. If you were an average person watching your sports ball, eating your wings, getting fat because women love food more than men, and then, I don't know, jerking off to your porn if you're a guy, you wouldn't notice. You wouldn't say men are stupid or, gosh, I have a really intelligent girlfriend. All right. That wouldn't happen. But when you're on the higher end of the IQ, you don't even have to be that high, like 115. You're going to think, and because your main obsession is the opposite sex, and especially men, you're only attracted to beauty, which, by the way, makes women dumb. Okay. Beauty prevents women from developing intelligence. Said it. Fuck you. It's true. They may have a high IQ, the high potential for intelligence, but they never have to use it. And then you guys wonder why hot girls are dumb or why you can't find a smart girl. Same thing with girls got a high IQ. What the fuck are the smart guys? He can't keep up to my level. There just isn't as many smart women as smart men, especially if you get past the 115 IQ part. But there's way more dumb men than there are women. But we don't have to go into that as well. Most women are not fucking stupid. Both men and women have the same average mean intelligence. Men are slightly, 1 or 2, maybe 3 IQ points higher. But if you're in this world, not only are women fucking stupid, men are fucking stupid too. You just don't want to fuck those men, so you don't pay attention to them. And you only surround yourself with men that are that intelligent. You think, well, look how men are really smart. Yeah, because you're surrounding yourself with people with 135 IQs because you can't tolerate the dumb fucks. I mean, this goes back to the beauty thing, the beauty experiment. Go outside, look around, Go to Walmart, go to the grocery store, look at all the people and realize how many fucking people are ugly. And then you realize the average looks is just a boring, dopey, fat, ugly fuck, male or female. And what you're focusing, you all think like, oh my God, look at that girl's, I like that. Look at this ugly girl. It's like that ugly girl is very average. Very average. I mean, you go look around. Go look. Fly Spirit Airlines. You'll find out. Okay. Glad we solved that. Luke Gallup for $2.79. Canmore. Oh, Canmore. All right. Banff National. Oh, good. Hopefully you go up to Jasper as well. I spent a night in Revelstoke, and I wish I had more time to spend there. That entire, from Revelstoke all the way down to the border, Castlegar, Nelson, just a bunch of wonderful little towns I rode my motorcycle through. It's wonderful. Scott Ludke for $5. All the bullshit you go through in life makes knowing I will die not sound so bad. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate culture and creativity and music and movies. But when your fellow man is brainwashed to be a parasitic, self-pitying fuck, and to be weaponized against other groups of people, I'm talking about you, Mayor Fry and Governor Waltz and the teachers union. When you brainwash, and not an entire 2 generations of kids, they fucked you up. You're oppressed. And then what did you think was, and now you've taken about the only good thing that people can enjoy, the truly only thing other people can enjoy. You've removed it from life, and you've removed other human beings. I will point out a flaw of women. They are tighter intelligence bell distribution. They are no smarter nor more intelligent or nor dumber than men. Okay, everyone has the same mean intelligence. But my God, did you make a bunch of conformist, non-thinking women? Holy shit! Wow, you voted Democrat too and majored in the liberal arts, and you're a feminist? Holy fucking interesting, Batman. Let me go get an erection over that. Wow, you got student loans and you majored in the liberal arts and you think you should have UBI and free and you want to help the children and the minorities? Holy shit. I could totally mind melt with you. I mean, that won't be painful as fuck at all. Geez, you like to travel and you have cats and YOLO? Wow. A critical statement, critical criticism of your average American woman is that a Mennonite, an Amish woman is more interesting. They're more attractive and they're not hot. That's the thing. You're like, you got a white dress on, you got long hair, you got no makeup. You look frumpy. Wait a minute. You got long hair and a dress on and no tattoos and a gauge ring and some fucking attitude and lip and the most boring scripted intelligence you didn't even develop. You just bought your intelligence off of the Walmart store of college and put it in your brain. Socialism. Oppression. Help the little man, the people, the children. I want to save lives. Like, oh, wow. You know what? Everybody might give turd flinging monkey fucking bullshit for fucking a robot or a sex doll or whatever. What the fuck are you guys doing? I mean, seriously. What? Somebody send this a turd flinging monkey. I know I got it because I'll forget. I got other shit to do. Somebody tell me the difference between turd flinging monkey fucking an inanimate object and most of you fuckers fucking your wives who has student loan debt at 40, want the SUV, got fat on you, spouts the same fucking bullshit, never came up with an interesting or unique thought in her life, doesn't challenge you intellectually. I mean, really, really? Wow, she's just like everyone else. She's as common as a blade of grass. Well, then maybe metaphorically, and I'm not even joking. Not in more than a metaphorical sense, you might just be fucking a robot. Because really, what have we demonstrated? There's no intelligence. There's no independent thought. I just came for the job. I want to open a coffee store. Holy cow. For example, Molyneux's wife, which he doesn't mention much, That's a sentient, human, independent being. There's a brain there. There's a spirit there. There's a soul there. There's something to fall in love with. Everything from dude bros out in the burbs whose wives just want to keep up with the Joneses and couldn't give a fuck less, not even capable of loving their husband or the children, to the soy boy, Gen X millennial, whatever, whose wife is forcing their kids to have organic diets so they can keep up with the local Minneapolitan women's. Okay, why don't you just go fuck that tree? Most of you jerk off to porn anyway. Most of you are choosing porn probably over your wives, because why would you fuck that? And so, yeah, now that the number one thing, other people have been taken off the table, both in a sexual sense, like a romantic sense, you fall in love with a member of the opposite sex, but also your friends. Chad had to ditch it. He had an 86 old buddy of his because he just turned into a non-talking NPC. Like, okay. And then the guy who's hiking up in Canmore. Well, that's the only thing to do. That's it. That's all it is. You could all say it's porn. Like, well, it's not real, but I guess I'll go hike in Moab. I guess I'll ride my motorcycle. Guess I'll smoke my cigars. But there's not like humans left. And you Democrats did it to yourselves. You Democrats did, especially you male Democrats, you fucking pussies. You destroyed your women. You turned them into like just these non-sentient entities. But then again, this presupposes male Democrats had sentience in the first place. And we're just like, I want the pussy. I vote Democrat. I am male feminist. And now it's just like, now the gals want a guy who has a gun. How many of you Minneapolis girls want a gun? Remember all guns bad? Guns equal bad, right? And all those evil Republican, libertarian, conservative types that were pro-gun. Oh, my God. You want some of them now, huh? You want a guy who actually could probably fight? No. Maybe if you gave him some biscotti, some organic biscotti, the looters and rioters would go away. Alex Patino. Notice I did this little, not an umlaut. What is that? It's like a Latin umlaut. Alex Patino. It's just like a religion. You got to make sure that all your followers are completely brainwashed before moving on to forceful conversion of others. Yeah, great point, Alex. Great point. See, but what I've never understood about this, Alex, maybe you got a thought. Maybe all you do. What is why do you have to convert people? Why can't you just leave them the fuck alone? Like, I take a look at Putin, who I like and dislike in different ways. Or Hillary Clinton is another example. Or even Nancy Pelosi. Like, okay, how much fucking money do you need? Like, guys, you pay me $2 million, I'm gone. You'll never fucking see me again. Phew, I'm out of here. It's because I got fun shit to do. But then there's these people who have everything paid for. And they only got what? How long is Pelosi going to live? Another 5 to 10 years? How long's Hillary got? A decade? One could make the argument with Trump and Biden. Well, really, guys? I think Trump did it for shits and giggles. He had nothing else to do. Like, don't you want to go have fun? Don't you want to spend time with your grandkids? Don't you want to go fish? Why do you have to convert everybody? Why do you got to force this on? Why do you need power? So Putin, fuck. I mean, is he that bored? Vladimir Putin, through not so ethical means, has become one of the most rich men on the face of the planet. Some estimates $86 billion. That's the latest figure I figured out. Dude, you give me $1 billion. I'm like, bye. My time's worth way more than dealing with this bullshit. Like, what keeps, not George Soros, guy, the Amazon guy, Jeff Bezos. Bye, out of here. See ya. Good night, everybody. I'm not going out like not Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. I'm gonna live. I'm not running this shit no more. Fuck you. I'm not sitting any more meat. I'm gonna go fish. going to get a bunch of horse, and I'm out of here. But why does religious people, why do Muslims have to like constantly convert or kill? Why does Putin still have to rule Russia? Why don't you want to retire? Why you want to go have fun? Why are you wasting your time protesting and burning down buildings? Don't you have other shit to do? Wouldn't you rather do other? Yeah. Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Right. Heat them up, move them out. Move them up, heat them in, move them up. Right. All right, here we go. Big Vis 497, virtue writing. Yeah. I don't think it's virtue writing at this point. I think, especially among the white rioters who come from the suburbs and are very spoiled, this is it. This is their big thing. This is what they've lived for. This is what they went to school for. It's like the proto-millennials. They're not proto-millennials. The proto-SJWs in 1968, those riots, they had to like do something. This is their something. Today, here's your 15 minutes of fame, guys. Because what do they do? What do they do? Go back to their life, paying off their student loans for a degree in communications? To a bar they can't bartend anywhere? You can't waitress no more, nowhere? This is their big to-do. Yeah, man, you ever see it? Is there anything more pathetic than a washed-up boomer protester? Like some old haggard lady that just has the glasses and the gnarly gray hair, and she's got like basically a big-ass blanket draped around her for clothes. Still yelling about how many abortions she had. Like, fuck, lady. It's over. You lost. You didn't spend any time with good quality people. You had no quality people in your life. All you did was advocate taking other people's money. Oh, and by the way, you killed several babies that were inside you. Well, great for you. Okay, I don't know. I got more accomplishments. Like I caught a bass one. I caught a bass one time about this big. And I'm not joking. A good-sized bass. I caught a trout really big one time. That's more of an accomplishment than pretty much every feminist out there. However many abortions you might have had or whatever. Because all you did was advocate parasitism. And in the end, you're telling stories. What do people want to hear? Oh, yeah, this one time I went up Coolidge Reservoir over in the Black Hill. Fucking trout this big. It was great. I had to fight it. I had to get a net. Otherwise, my thing would have fallen off. I had 16 abortions. Who gives a fuck, lady? Get the fuck out of here. That's it. This is their big time. This is what they were programmed to do. Buy Waltz. By the people who are now having to by Dr. Frankenstein's. They are now finding the Frankenstein monster. The Frankenstein monster is doing exactly what. And what is the Frankenstein monster doing? Nothing in particular productive, memorable, or interesting. Twin Cities needs more rooftop Koreans. No, they don't. You don't have that. You don't have that. Minneapolis, Minnesotans are I cannot emphasize this enough, Eric. Minneapolitans and Minnesotans in general are pussies. They've trained one group. Well, they've trained everyone to be aggrieved and victims. But then they train the other group to roll over on their back and take it. Right? So I guess this is the more testosterone-y group of people. Although legitimately protesting, not rioting, not killing, not looting, not burning down buildings, legitimately protesting. Yeah, that was from what I've seen. I know we got to investigate. That was murder, or at least manslaughter. Let's say, I'm sorry, he didn't intend to kill him, but that's manslaughter. All right, they have a difference. Not to take an official stand. Yeah, you had a right to protest. I'll go with that. and there was a riot. Okay, but then the rest of this is just the Eloy and the Morlock. That's all. And it's great. I know this one gal. No one's hit my house yet. I'm like, yeah, you voted Democrat all the time. We're lecturing everybody about the virtues of social. Go fuck yourself. Let's go fuck yourself. Juan Corbera, liquidate everything. It's getting totalitarian. I don't know if you want to liquidate everything. You have to, get out of the Twin Cities. If you have any valuables in Minneapolis, St. Paul, get out of it. I know a buddy of mine. He's black. My one black friend. Yes. So I'm not racist. Yeah, my one black friend. Some entrepreneurial black man or woman should just come up with the website, myoneblackfriend.com. And then you lease a black guy or a black gal. Yeah, my black friend. I'm not racist. Kind of like how we have the ugliest, most feminist, butch-looking sign language translators, which I agree with, because, like, yeah, some people are deaf. They got to know what's going on. I'm like, okay, I'm okay. But do you have to come up with the most butch, lesbian, Marxist, ugly fuck? Can we not just have, look, I'm not asking for a hot model in a bikini. I'm not asking for Mary Jo in a pink negligee. But can we just have someone that doesn't make me want to vomit? Like, oh, wow, I guess you're like the most diverse, disadvantaged, lesbian, quadriplegic, deaf person who gets the prize. Here's your prize. You get to be the governor's translator. And can you not be so fucking flamboyant with your mannerisms? Masculine Geek's going to make hay with that one. Just it's not an act. It's not theater. Okay? Fuck you. Here's that sign language for you assholes. There you go. I bet you there's some sign language people, deaf people. That's what they call them, in case you didn't know. They just want someone to talk to them normally. They don't need some flamboyant affirmative action hire who's like jilling herself off on stage because now it's her time to shine. You guys are public servants. Shut the fuck up and do your job. Don't do it sexy or fancy. Just tell us what the fuck is going on. Go look up Governor Waltz's. She's the shaved. I don't know if she's lesbian. She's just ugly as fuck. And she's over exuberant in her job. It's like, look, just tell people what the fuck is going on. Okay? Just shut the fuck up. You are a translator. There's no value beyond you in that. We don't need theater. You're not a thespian. All right? Just tell the unfortunate people who are deaf what the fuck is going on. Mellow Man 0001 for $5 Canadian. Given the events of this year, pandemic rise, I hope we'll all finally realize how fragile society is to get it right. No, we won't. No. If you read through liberal Minneapolitan St. Paulites comments, the programming is complete. They are robots, Mellow Man. They will not learn. They have nothing else in life but the religion of politics, their socialism, their diversities, the I cares, oh, look how virgin. They have nothing else. And what guarantees that they have nothing else is they're too weak to go do something of value. And above all else, they are ultimate cowards to tell the brown people no. That's the bit. They do not want to get in a fight. They do not want to stand up and say, get the fuck off my property and put themselves at risk. They will not do that. They are the Eloi. You will not change them. And very much like the Morlock, this may sound, hypocritical, but it's consistent. I'm probably more Morlock because now I realize, wow, these people are sheep. They should be fed off of. They offer no value. There's no reasoning with them. Lie. Tell how many millions of dollars do my professors make off of my generation living on the nice west side, West River Parkway, East River Parkway? How much do those assholes make? Selling lies to the Eloi. Take advantage of them, man. You're not going to, like my previous conversation I said before, I'm trying to talk reason to this black protest. I'm like, why are you destroying your city? Making a statement by destroying your town. Yeah, so you guys pay attention. I'm like, dude, that's like punching yourself in the face because you disagree with me. Why don't you just not do that? Because no one's going to listen. Like, okay, fuck it. I'm not wasting my time anymore. You're Eloi. This can of soda water has more intelligence and sentience. So no one's going to realize how fragile it is. I think some prissy lily white suburbanite wives might realize that, and they might kind of hope their husband gets a gun. Maybe some Democrat men who spent 30, 40 years of their lives just sucking the dick of socialism, maybe they'll wake up. I don't think so, though. I really don't. They have nothing else. This is what they value their lives on. I mean, you could literally remember there's pictures going around of these white people that put themselves in chains and says, like going through the slave experience. So they understood what it was like to be a unfortunate black man or woman hauled out of Africa. And they had like the neck chain. So they're all hooked together. That's you think the Amy Beal, everybody look up Amy Beal, Biel. Her parents forgave the African town that murdered their daughter out of genuine racism. You can murder their children. They are not going to give up their religion of socialism or diversity or environmentalism, whatever variant of socialism it is, because they love themselves more than anything else. Their laziness. They have no ethics. And they're cowards. They're weaklings on top of it. So no one's going to realize how fragile it is. They will live in utter squalor and filth. I'm like, oh, but I can't. I did what I was told. Judd Grover, $2. I apologize to the Womans for my topic changing joke. Thanks, Judd. Sid K for $5 Canadian. White knights and beta blue pill bitches have screwed up society and spoiled women. Yep. Men need to stop having double standards just because vagina. Dude, you're absolutely right. But what are we going to do about it? For every one of you and me that could tell a girl no, there's 100 guys that'll just anything you want, dear, anything. What are we gonna do? Undo genetic programming? I mean, how do you get men not to chase the girls, or not even not chase the girls, but just not put them? I mean, I was kind of hoping there'd be a happy medium where guys would just realize it's cheaper to pay. Like, here, pay. You're gonna pay anyway. Pay. Be done with it. Simplify it. Every time I get some, how do I lose my virginity? You fly off to fucking Vegas, you get a car, you go over to Pahrump, and you find out wherever the hell the bunny ranches are. That's how you lose your virginity. Knock it off with this fucking bullshit. But even that's no. It's not. All right, let's get some more here. DJ Aftershock, but at least it felt good, right? I don't know. What felt good? David 128. The state signed person is a lesbian. Her name is Nick Zapko. A girl named Nick. She is deaf as well as WCCO did a story about. Well, good for fucking her. Oh my God. Did we get a lesbian? Oh, wow. That'll solve it. Yeah, because there ain't like, gay protest, like what do we call it? Militant, non-binary, because being serious, because there's, lesbian, gay, but let's just say non-binary. I'm sure, Governor Walt's got a lesbian sign language interpreter. So I'm sure no militant, non-binary people were in the protest, right? They're like, oh, wait, it's cool. Look, see? Equity. Kate Adams, thank you for writing Curse of the High IQ. Until I read it, I wonder if I was nuts. No student loan or credit card debt. No idiotic major. Awesome. Kate Adams. So girl. Oh, we got a girl in the neighborhood. Who let the girl in? Somebody let the Womans in. Where is Atham? He's not around. He might be sleeping. He's supposed to watch the door, make sure none of the Womans get in. And Adriano Ramos for $2 Australian. How is America still number one in economics? Because we have a large population. We are relatively free. We have smart people. There's no doubt about it. And let's look at our main rivals. Okay. China is horrendously corrupt. Russia is horrendously corrupt. Brazil, in terms of size of economy, corrupt. East India, I got hope for. They launched a rocket. I think India and Pakistan. No one really thinks much about Pakistan, but they developed nuclear weapons, and I think India did launch a rocket 10 years ago. There's hope there. I'm not against other countries becoming number one or rising their standards of living. It's going to help out everybody. But let's put it this way. Our competition is such shit. Every country out there is like, they want the European Union. Hey, go suck on a micro dick. The Europe. I know they're a big ass union with 550 million people in it, but they're not only corrupt, like especially around the Mediterranean countries, but they're all socialist. Is everybody all right? Are you okay? Are you okay? Okay. Is everybody okay? Everybody's okay? Okay, you're okay. Okay, now I'm going to launch. We're going to have a department of is everybody okay? We're going to hire a lesbian sign quadriplegic black interpreter to make sure she'll make sure everyone, are you still okay? You're not okay? How much of other people's money can we give you? That fucking shit. Oh, is that our competition? I'll give the Latino culture a little bit. At least they got a work ethic. At least they ain't blowing up buildings. You know, is it traditional old waspy 1940s American work ethic? No, but the white people in here, you can't even get a white kid to mow your fucking lawn. I got to pay DT to do it. I got to pay a 40-odd-year-old man to mow my lawn because I can't find no white kid in South Dakota, of which, by the way, that's pretty much all you have to choose from. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. It's like legacy. It's legacy economics. We have this massive infrastructure we built up, or our ancestors built up. We are still relatively free. Don't worry, we won't be number one for long. If China ever got over its fucking communist one-party system and it's Orwellian and just freed the fuck up and like killed all of the corrupt politics. And there was an anti-corruption unit within China. If they could just clean that up. Oh, Russia could be the same thing. Russia could be the same way. But that's it. We just have a relative. But don't worry. We're working our best to make sure we're not one anymore. But everything will be fair. Is everyone okay? You're not okay? You're not. Oh, you're okay? No, but you are. Okay. Oh, okay. Everybody's okay. Soon our GDP will just be, is everyone okay? And teachers. All right. Let's get through to bleep and bleep bleep. To bleepy bleep. That's not it. Where's the Coronachan stuff? Good morning, Coronachan. Let me go gargle so I don't lose my voice. Wow, 300 people. We almost have 300 people tune in. Everyone take a break. I'm going to go pee. This French champagne, so good for the brain. Completely unrelated. Let's get that a little closer. God, bleeping, damn it. One of these days. I was watching High Society, I think it is. It's got Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra. If you're looking for something to escape, two things. High Society, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby. It's a musical, one of the few musicals I like. It's my favorite musical, but that's like saying that's my favorite fat chick, okay? It's just not. It's my favorite Democrat. Like Atham, it's my favorite Latino. That's well, if you gotta like a Latino, I guess Atham will suffice. Same thing with CPAs, but it's a great. And then we watched Cannonball Run 2. And God, it's great. It's got everybody. It's got the Rat Pack. It's got Jim Neighbors. It's got the guy from Hunter. We're going through like, who's that? Who's that? Like, there's more legit actors than there were like stand-ins. Tony Danza, he's got to be like 25 years old. He's all jacked, got his fucking hair. It's great, for us old-timer Xers. Now I got to go see Cannonball Run, the original, the first one. And so, that was just to take a break from all this crap. Ba-ba, ba-bum, bum, 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 bum. All right. We got that. Let's scroll down. $2. The Competent Man. Cappy, I'm not okay. Please send cash. What do you mean send cash? You just sent me $2. Why are you sending me cash if you want me to send you cash? Are you saying I'm not okay? Hey, my Poke Bowl place opened up. Now I can go back to Poke Bowl. So I have this war chest of money you guys have donated. Actually, I just used it, pay bills. I'm not very exciting with my money, but I have obviously there's savings, I can afford a Poke Bowl. We'll get some Poke Bowl. Robert Fogolski, part of the 1099 superior race. 1099er here. You think rural land will rise in prices? People possibly leaving big cities now that riots and viruses permeate their predominant. I think no. Humans are frogs. They'll stay in the boiling water. They'll die. So there's that. Some people may move to, I don't want to say the suburbs. They will move to a different county to escape that. Because if you look at the Twin Cities or any major, the major town sits in Johnson County. Well, it doesn't matter. If you're in a nice part of the suburbs of Johnson County or the city of Johnson County, it's still going to be all Marxist leftist shit. So I think people will move out to different counties. And what I've at least witnessed here in the Twin Cities, but it's different because of geology and geography. You can't even call them conservative, just the white people, the white flight. They're going even further out to the exurbs. Chicago would be the equivalent to Hoffman Estates or Schaumburg. Winnetka is up there. I'm not that familiar with different towns, but let's say they're willing to go 50 miles out. And what's going to help with that a little bit is the fact a lot of these people are going to realize they don't have to go to a physical location. Already, long before any of this bullshit happened, corporations were moving their headquarters out of the city and into the burbs because it was impossible traffic. And they just frankly didn't have the facilities. They want to build a campus. We need 3 different buildings, and that doesn't allow, or major metropolitan areas that are already on a grid system doesn't allow for it. So you'll see, again, not to reference Chicago, but you come in from Hoffman Estates on Highway 90, and you'll see Motorola, Pepsi. They have their own buildings because that's where the real estate was. They could build the buildings they needed. So you're already getting out of the city there. But with coronavirus, I shouldn't say that. With the internet, that has existed for this capacity for 20 fucking years now. And coronavirus forcing people to open their fucking eyes and say, wait a second. We don't have to commute. I are so intelligent. I have degree from University of Minnesota College of Liberal Arts. So people are slowly waking up. What I thought might happen, but it's not going to, is people would rediscover small towns. Now, not to bore you with American history, for those of you who happen to be foreigners who are listening. Towns originally formed every 10 miles because the trains back in the old, we're doing very, very quick history here. The steam locomotives would run out of water. And so every 10 miles, you find a little town. And so you come through the United States, you drive through the West, you'll find a little town in the middle of nowhere. You're trying to figure out, why the fuck is this here? Look for a railroad track or something that used to be a railroad track, but is now a path. And that town solely existed to fill the train with water, as well as transport crops back to the East Coast. So, and you could tell because the city will have a bank building, and the banks or the major city hall or whatever would have a brick or a headstone on it, the year it was found, 1892 or 1901 or whatever like that. So you got this quasi infrastructure already built there. Nice buildings. And I always thought like, oh, it'd be really cool to buy all these old bank buildings, and I don't know what to do with them. Trying to figure out what to do with them. And I thought maybe people with the internet, as long as there's good internet out there, people would say, why am I in the fucking city? Why am I in the fucking suburbs? I'm going to go to, I'm trying to think of a town I really like. Faith, South Dakota. There's a perfect town. Very small. I don't think any of you would like it, frankly. The only reason I like it is because they got a nice little municipal fossil museum, and their graveyard has agates embedded in some of the tombstones. But aside from that, it really is a cross. There's the Sinclair gas station, and that's it. Poker games on Tuesdays, I believe. That was 10 years ago, though. I was thinking, like, well, maybe people would move to this small town. You have the local mercantile. You can walk down to Buffalo, Wyoming's another perfect example. There's a more functional small town. And it ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen. And do you know why, Mr. Fogulski? Because what are they going to do without their sports ball? See, like, take a look at Iowa. Take a look at South Dakota, North Dakota. You have metropolitan area. They have city centers. There's Des Moines in Iowa. There's Sioux Falls. There's Fargo. These are the major metropolitan cities, the commercial districts for these states. No professional sports ball. And I do remember about 10, 15 years ago when CEOs look to set up a headquarters. They don't just look at taxes and like, are my kids going to get murdered by people of a different color skin than them? Because they don't care about that. They just can't wait to jerk off to diversity. Like, oh my God, we're setting up shop in the ghetto. Hello, everybody. Look at us. We won't hire anyone from the ghetto, but look at us. We're here. We're here. Google. They do look for a national sports team, stadiums. And this goes back to Roman times, bred in circuses, because they're sheep. Maybe not Frankenstein sheep like the ones rioting and protesting right now, but they are sheep. The average American is a fuck, and I am including you Republican, conservative, suburbanite motherfuckers. You're sheep. God, go to the game and pay $50 to park and $50 each kid. Oh my gosh, I live paycheck to paycheck, but I took my 3 kids and my wife and spent $400 on a Twins game. No one talks like that in Minnesota, but let's just assume everyone's Southern. That's why they got to have their sports ball. They need their Coliseum. They need their gladiators. Purple Pride. Dude, another perfect example, Rob. Tune into any major radio station here. The sports station. Do you have a small penis? Then tune into the sports show with Bob and Rob. And they're going to talk about the Twins. And we're going to talk about the hockey stick game. And then we're going to talk about the Gophers. And, do you think that guy could have thrown the ball better than the and then there's a bunch of like, I don't know if you knew this about the Twin Cities. We're most notably known for having the Mall of America. The first indoor mall was built here in the Twin Cities. Grains, that's another, it's not exciting, but that is part of our economy. Finance is quite big. But tweezers, I don't know if you knew this, but there's a huge tweezer industry because all the white guys with the little white dicks need something to jerk off with their little micro dicks with to jerk off to the sports ball. That's what they need to do. And that's what they tune into. Sports ball is huge. Now, not just in the Twin Cities, but every major. And so that's why they're not going to leave the big Twin Cities. I need my sports ball. Oh, what are they doing? They're like, there's no new sports ball. Oh my God. What are you literal, genuine pussies going to talk about? What are you going to go watch? How are you going to homoerotically like fantasize you're having sex with other guys on the field? What are you guys in the suburbs going to do? You can't even drive your big ass SUV in your truck to pay $50 to. What are you guys doing? May I recommend the Smith & Wesson retirement plan early? No, that I do not advocate people with no lives kill themselves. I advocate you just keep on working and slaving away and watching the sports ball. So that's why people do not live. Literally, that's one of the main reasons people do not leave the big cities. They need to be with. And here's another group of sheep that you can totally fleece. And no pun intended. Young people got to go to where the action is. Go to action. They have to go to the big university. I'm so intelligent and smart going to St. Thomas. I'm a St. Tommy. I go to McAllister. And they have to have like their espresso and think they're so intelligent. And oh my goodness, did you eat a cafe latte? Yes, I did. Oh my gosh, we are so intelligent being like every other girl in the world. That's another reason, guys. That's where all the action is here. I don't know what the action is. I think the action is like you get shot or they burn your house. You can get your sushi and your espresso. Oh my goodness. Let's go to, I'm trying to think of like the Loring Cafe. That used to be a thing. Go to Loring Cafe. So that's another reason. This is where the people are. This is where the excitement is. This is where the sports ball happens. And nuclear bombs can't hit these places enough. Okay, all right. No, I'm against that. I'm totally against nuclear weapons being used on major metropolitan areas to remove cancer as if it was chemotherapy. Why remove the tumor? And it's not a simple nuclear bomb. That wouldn't solve it. You need a MIRV, multiple independent reentry vehicle, where it's one rocket, but there's multiple warheads that take out the suburban area around it. So ain't nobody's, I need to watch my sports ball and jerk off my little white dick with the tweezers to watch other men throw a ball over a fence because reasons. Then we clear it all out. Although then I guess it would be the who dang diggly do dang diggly doos left over from Wyoming and Nebraska and the blanks like that. It's all fucked. There's no solution. There's a book called Enjoy the Decline. I recommend you read it. Okay. Gabi Axente, is that right? Ron, 25. What is a Ron? Let's look up. We got to look up that. Ron currency. Romanian? What is a Ron currency? Romanian. Oh, look at old Cappy go. Oh, he's good. So, okay, hang on. I got to tell you guys a story. I would like to tell you a story now. So, we were watching Cannonball Run 2, and the cars are racing through this little town. They got a scene set up. And I'm like, wait, go back. And it just says Highway 93 this way, Highway 89 that way. I'm like, I didn't recognize the background of the street or anything. I'm like, is that Wickenburg? Sure enough, we look it up. Wickenburg, Arizona. That's how much I've traveled. That's how I know like the back of my hand. And the GF's just like shaking her head like, I'm like, wait, come on. Come on. That's pretty good. That's pretty good that I like have that situational awareness. I'm thinking like this would be a sexy thing. Women would like it. I'm like, there's a problem though. There's a problem. You can ask the great one. The problem is I'm not 6 feet tall. I am not T-Rash. You say, who's T-Rash? T-Rash, trash. If you're T-Rash and you're 6 feet tall, well, then you're sexy. Fuck it if you make good money. Fuck it if your house is paid off. Fuck it if you don't. Unless you're 6 feet tall and you are T-Rash, don't fucking matter. All right, so for 25 Romanian bucks, which is it's 23 cents. That's 0.2. It's a buck. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Gabriel, I'm sorry. Can I stay at your place in a month or so? I'm planning on touring. No, you can't. No. Can you stay at my place? No, actually, there's no place to stay, frankly. I used to have a house. Now I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm just biding my time. I build up the South Dakota place. Viatorum di EFA for €2. Why not use online banking, Cappy? You need a routing number to send it to the bank. I gotta close the account. I just want it to be done, and I want someone else doing it. And the other thing is, like, I don't want my sister. Like, if you're online, somebody keep watching. Oh, I've read horror stories of people losing their life savings because they got the wrong information. They wired it to Senegal. What else? There's these couples, like this Mexican bank just made off with a bunch of retired Americans' money. And good luck getting the Mexican authorities to do it. I wonder why Mexico is such a shithole. Oh, no protection of property, no law. But don't worry, Mexicans. Come here and vote your same shitty leftist Marxist policies in, because the welfares and magic dirt. Who dang. The Competent Man for $5. Sports. Green Bay Packers have decorative common stock that gives the holders no rights, dividends, or ability to make profit on the shares. Yes, but did they pay money for it, Competent Man? Colleges do the same thing with women. They give them worthless pieces of paper that have no value. I mean, you want to give Green Bay Packers fans, their shareholders, you want to give them guff. What do you pay? $100 for that. American women blow $150,000 on equally worthless pieces of paper, and that ruins their lives financially, romantically, and psychologically. What's the worst? Okay, I'm a Green Bay Packer. Let's compare and contrast, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? I'm a Green Bay Packer shareholder. I got my $100 thing, whatever. Hey, look at that. Oh, hey, Aaron, that's a funny looking thing. Oh, is that? Oh, you're ha 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 ha. Yeah, I know, Frank. It's funny. Huh? And that's it. Cappy's out $100. American women, 80% of you, last statistics I checked, major in the world's dumbest motherfucking shit. And it's not just you cut a check for $100. You cut a check for $150,000 and piss away 4 fucking years of your life. And this isn't the old pruny boob stage of your life. This is when you probably might want to think about finding a man, which I know the college with your educations told you don't need no man, fish, bicycle, which makes it even more costly. But never mind that. Eccentric point. You don't need no man, fish, bicycle. You have wasted 4 years of your time and $150,000 on a bullshit degree. And then you put it up there and people look at that and say, oh, are your parents still like, so brave and amazing? And then your mom says the exact, 3 years later, you're still living at home, working some shit job. She's still trying to find herself. I'm going to vote Democrat because it's for the children in the suburbs. Why are there people torching our homes? Tanner, husband of disputable testosterone adequacy, go do something. What do you want me to do, dear? I'm just a pussy white Minnesotan. What? Stand up for myself? Defend property? Well, we really kind of owe it to them. Our daughter came back with a college degree from McAllister saying, we're the oppressors. I cut my penis off and put it in a jar for them. Here you go, protesters. Is that enough? Can you gauge the level of hatred I have for Minnesotans? It doesn't stop at the city, by the way. The suburbs are, don't even get me. That's a story for another. I could go 1,000 ways with this. McCoyan. Did you name that after the MIG Bureau? I was always kind of curious. For $10, took some of the stimulus money and got a Strayer Og instead. Is that the Australian? No, not Australian. Danish bullpup. Strayer Og. Yep, that it is. That's what, for those of you who are classically trained in Americanism, that is the gun that Carl from Die Hard used. It's that weird kind of space-looking gun with the large scope on the top. Fake degrees won't keep looters away from my house. Ammunition might be the standard currency right now. I am prepared either way. They can burn out. They can come, whatever you got, whatever. I adapt. Change or die. That is evolution. It's too bad all those Minneapolis people were so anti-gun. They might actually have a bar to go to. God, that just still gets me, guys. Look up the Hexagon Bar. That was like the neighborhood bar. Everyone was welcome. You could have a good old time. They had bands, not big band. It's just like, that's gone? Really? Really? DJ Aftershock for $2 and eating their wings and drinking craft beers. Get some American eats at American Bar. We're just a hometown American bar founded by a bunch of pussy bearded millennial bleepits. Is this your IPA or double? Oh my goodness, is this your spring blend? For the rioters and protesters, if you did not know, and I'm going to assume you don't know because you've been highly educated in the liberal arts and not practicality, the gold in the Twin Cities right now would be copper. And if you can make off with a copper still from any one of these brew pubs over in Northeast, I'd be very impressed. That would be a haul. That would be a haul. Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Boop, boop, doo, doo, boo, doo, boo, boo. All right, so Competent Man for $5. Last stock for Green Bay Packers in 2020 raised $64 million through 250,000 buyers purchasing 269,000 shares at $250 a piece. The stock has no rights. They're buying art. Okay, here's let's look beyond what they say it is. Competent Man, it's art. They're buying art. And what does the average douchebag pay for a jersey? Aren't those about $100, $150 themselves? I'm a shareholder. Oh. Still more valuable than a degree in the liberal arts. Let's look here. Oop. I might actually get to the stories I want to talk about. Suburbs, Otsego, bro, Rogers, bro. Yeah, those are the excerpts. Yep, Dave knows where. If anybody wants to look it up, those are your far northwest suburbs, and those would be like they just would seriously. I see those guys. They just stand off on the highway, Highway 10, Highway 94 at the exits, and like, oh, who are you? I see you don't have license plates. Get the fuck out of here. And there will be guns trained on you. Go red, you're dead. You have no idea. See, yes, the majority of Minnesotans are pussies, but there's a significant percentage, I'd say 40% of the men who are sick and tired of their fellow Minnesota brethren being pussies, and they have guns. I'm not shitting. And by the way, they're not exactly your 130 IQ, like looking up the law. Like, they will fuck you up, right? They're just as dumb as the rioters and protesters. They will shoot you. And they're like, wait, I was defending my property. Well, the pussy little, I can't say it. Liberals made it that you can't stand your own ground. But yes, you would have a hard time in those towns. All right. I think we're done. All right. I am going to pull up. Oh, let's do sponsors very, very, very quickly. All right. God, look, I got a lot of great articles. It's already almost noon. I'm going to delete these articles because I'm not going to do that. Nick, I know you sent an email about accounting. Send it to assholeconsulting.com. That's why I haven't gotten back to it, because it's on my other email. I'm like, okay. Oh, there's a mug. Do you remember when Coronachan was in the news? Do you remember that? Here's a mug you can get. It just says, it's just the flu on it. I put that in there. Or maybe, wait a minute. No, is that, it's just the flu? Or is that the one with the actual great and merciful Coronachan? Oh, by the way, DT's daughter drew, come on, paste and go. Hang on. the interwebs, the programmers in Silicon Valley. There we go. Yes, that is the Just the Flu mug. There you go. So DT's daughter drew today's Great and Merciful Coronachan, and it's a really good drawing actually for a young girl. And I will always take kids' drawings, man. If you got kids' drawings, I will put them up. I will, because I love kids' drawings. I love it. Kids are innocent and they draw, and sometimes they draw the coolest fucking shit, even though it looks like crap. I would love it. You can always email me your kids' drawings. I'll put it up on the internet. I like, look at this. Hey, maybe we'll do that. Maybe if you send me kids, don't you dumbasses draw your own damn kids' drawing. Age 46 and the G is back. I don't want to see that shit. If you got kids and they want to draw a drawing and you want to shoot me an image, I'll put that up for the thumb. I love kids' drawings. That'd be so freaking cool. So DT's daughters drew me the Great and Merciful Coronachan. It was really cool. I put that up. So I thank DT for that, which you can find at blackbrigade.org. Dr. David Perodin, safetyphd.com. You can check out another podcast at 405media.com. Not just one podcast, but several. All right. The book, How Not to Become a Millennial, by myself and Vince Barrick. You can find this book, paperback, Kindle, and Audible. And basically, if your peak achievement in life is rioting and protesting now, well, forget it, you're already gone. I'm talking to the Frankenstein monsters. If you don't want to become like what did you do? What's your greatest? You die. You go to the pearly gates. What's your greatest accomplishment? I rioted against the system, man, in 2020. You don't want to become that? Get this book, How Not to Become a Millennial. We got some other books, Curse of the High IQ, the young lady who Atham let in without our approval, recommends that. Here's a book, boys and girls. Enjoy the Decline. I wonder if this is germane to today. Reconnaissance Man, Where to Live in the United States. If you didn't figure it out by now, not leftist Marxist town. Bachelor Pad Economics. That's another one. That'll help everybody. Worthless. How Not to Major in Stupid Shit. That would help out the Womans because I hate the Womans. This will help out the boys. The Pence Principle. I didn't write this one. The Pence Principle by Randall Bentwick. How Not to Get Falsely Accused of Rape. That's basically that one there. What's this one? The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, because again, I hate black people. That's why I wrote the book. And then I don't care about the rest of the books, frankly. I do. I mean, yeah, you can buy the best of books, but it's kind of a pain in the ass, and I need a bigger desk to put all these books. They're academiccomposition.com. Go to academiccomposition.com if you want other people to write your papers for you. Predominantly, Alex is the guy in charge of that. He will write your papers for you. His staff will. He's also looking to hire people. So if you want to write for academiccomposition.com, make a little bit of money. Although I guess with Trump bucks and welfare and unemployment, you're making way more than you would at economic. So I don't blame you. Don't work. Why? Let's see where that gets us, boys and girls. Why is the shit not being produced? How come there's no food in the grocery store? I majored in early childhood education. How come there's not the shit I want? Why are engineers paid so much? I'm a teacher. Non-communistsciencefiction.com. If you like science fiction, but you don't like communism, you are up shit creek, my friend, but no longer, because now there's a website called non-communistsciencefiction.com where you can read science fiction and it isn't going to lord over you socialism, gender rights, but it's just the big badass spiders coming to kill us. And are we going to send the Space Marines to stop them? So you can go to non-communistsciencefiction.com. The Science of Mastering Women, written by Linda Gross. You can find Linda Gross by searching her name on the internet. She has a website, a podcast, and she has this book, The Science of Mastering Women. Actually, I'm going to put that in the room. And this is the most thorough psychological analysis and study of pursuing women. It is not going to guarantee you get the girls. It will only help you improve your statistics and chances of getting the girls. And in addition to reading this book, it is an assumed mandatory obligation on your part that you will work out to get the girls. But nowadays, give it a little bit more time, the girls might be interested in a man who knows how to fire a gun and who knows how to do basic self-defense. I even had to like kind of brush up, like, oh wait, hang on, which gun fires where? Where's the safety? Where's that? Like, okay, and I was like practicing a little bit and drawing. I'm like, okay, all right, I remember this. You get weak, and I do have to go to the gun range. I know the guns I got. It's point and shoot. The guns I got are very simple. The scopes are sighted. You look, you pull the trigger. There's not that much recoil. You're gonna hit it, as long as it's not more than like 200 yards away. Then you got to start arcing. Even at 200 yards, you have to like aim up a little bit. And I'm like, oh, wait, how does this work again? And so now if anyone breaks in, they got about a second and a half before I get a round off. So we have that there. I don't know how that has to do with picking up chicks. And if you'd like to help out the show, oh, wait, Bunker Basics. Where did that go? bunkerbasics.com with Bunker Bob. Hey, is now a time maybe to think about contingency plans and your bug out bag? Huh? Well, why don't you go visit bunkerbasics.com instead of fucking around on the internet and searching crap? It's all right there. Or go to Google, search Bunker Basics in the topic you're interested in. All right. He talks about preparedness, self-defense, survival. It's all there. No bullshit. Go to bunkerbasics.com with Bunker Bob. And then finally, if you'd like to help out the show, I'll put the link down there. It's called olderbrother.com/donate. Remember, I don't always broadcast from this channel. I have a backup channel in case the googs, they get a little sensory. Cappy said something that was not right. That was against what we approve of. He's not helping out the Frankenstein monster destroy cities. He's saying bad things about them. Well, we must stop that so the Frankenstein monster can continue destroying things. So if you'd like to help out, a couple things you could do. Subscribe to the Older Brother channel. You go to YouTube, search Older Brother. There you go. It's Older Brother. You can go to olderbrother.com, find the links there. You can also go to olderbrother.com/donate, and there's 3 ways you can help out with the Amazon affiliate program. I'm not going to explain to you how that works. I'm going to assume you all know how that works. There's my Patreon, which you go ahead and donate there. You get behind the scenes paywall stuff, including Mary Jo's pinups. Oh, and then access to some posts that I've written that nobody reads because, well, they're behind a paywall. So, in other words, you get a little bit of something. Oh, and then my podcast, the Road Trip Podcast. So if you want to listen to more of my ramblings, you certainly may. Adriano Ramos, $2 Your thoughts on Antifa? Antifa is more organized than the National Guard, than any, not the police. The police are organized, but the police have to adhere to the law. Sometimes they don't. And that's why we got into this situation. They have to answer to a police chief elected, and you answer to the people. And if you have no leadership, like the truly dickless Mayor Jacob Fry, and that I am really let down by Governor Waltz. I think he was a lieutenant colonel in the National Guard or the reserves, and I think he was even deployed, and he did not give the go for the National Guard. And even though he's a Democrat and a teacher, I was like, okay. And he handled the Corona thing pretty well. And then he just started getting more militant. And now it's just like, okay, you're a dickless wonder too. What the fuck were all those years in the quasi-military about? So your soldiers are only as effective as your officers. And our officers are, I mean, truly dickless, pointless, never worked a real job in their life wonders. Antifa, you could make the legitimate claim that there are a lot of limp-wristed leftists who want to grab a gun and go fuck shit up, have their 15 minutes of fame, think they're heroes, but never work a real job. But in them being Antifa, I will give a couple of them credit. They have to work real jobs to get by because they're not rich. Some of them, certainly some of them are rich, spoiled little white Kuanta-ha-has from the suburbs. There's no doubt about those rich little white Kuanta-ha-has are probably more disproportionately responsible for burning down shit than mere looting. You know, the original looting and rioting. I don't agree with it, but understand it. Yeah, that guy was probably illegally and unethically killed. But then we're going to bring down, it's our dad. That's a bunch of prissy little lily white suburbanite kids who never hit the gym. And now is their time to shine. So there's certainly that in Antifa, but not all of them came from rich families. A lot of them had to work real jobs. And so they are like, well, fuck this shit. Now they've been lied to and completely, they're Frankenstein monsters. They believe the leftist Marxists, their professors literally just got done raping them out of 150 grand in student loan money. And now they're blaming the evil white Republicans in the suburbs for their student loans that they willingly signed up for and gave to their socialist teachers. And their socialist teachers are brilliantly brainwashing them into thinking that the socialist teachers and professors are not the bad people, but it's the white people in the suburbs that never said boo to anyone. But since they do have to work and they are struggling, there's a little bit of authenticity and street smarts there. And so there's probably a little bit more organization there. Obviously, I disagree with their motives. And half of them are a bunch of fucking limp-wristed pussies and cowards. That's why they hide behind their masks. They attack in groups. They put their women forward first. So if anyone attacks them or like defends themselves, you're hitting women. But they're certainly more organized than the people they're going up against. Antifa, if Antifa wanted, they could take over Minneapolis. They could. They're smarter. They're more organized because there's no organization. This doesn't mean that if you gave a general who's in charge of the National Guard, if you put him or her in charge, say, all right, it's all yours, take over. They'd mop the floor with Antifa. But since the National Guard has to answer to a civilian pussy commander who has no real and no incentive, their hands are tied behind their back. Antifa could take it over. But I mean, they're not anti-fascist. They are fascist. They don't realize it because they've been so brainwashed. They're nothing more than Marxists. They want to take over, so they're willing to blow up shit and burn shit down. And they know that. At least the smart people within them know that. But I don't know. What do you want me to? This is what happens when you spend 30 years brainwashing kids to think that they're heroes, but you give them no cause, you don't give them any skills, and you dump them out in the real world after you've fucked them over for $100,000 in student loans. Of course, they're going to be pissed. They'll rally. And now you got an anti. And how sexy is it? Oh, we're anti-fascist. Bash the fash. Oh my God, we're so great, Madison and Tanner. What would really be interesting is if the Antifa members ever were to read, I don't know, if ever they got intellectually honest and maybe if they read How Not to Become a Millennial, because the first third is basically how did the millennials get fucked over by the previous generation. There's an entire chapter there about how socialist boomers lied to them. And if they ever woke up, they would probably become the most radical right wing. And then instead of burning, otherwise lower middle income, diverse neighborhood, they go fuck up the U of M campus. They go fucking burn down McAllister. They'd hunt their professors down. But yeah, they're slightly more organized Frankenstein. They're not even a mid-level boss. They're like just instead of the rank and file Frankenstein monster, they're like this, the Frankenstein monster plus. Daniel Sylvia, $2. Thoughts on Fed setting interest, the reserve rate to zero. Money printer go burr. That's the money printer broke. Daniel, economics is a very complicated thing, Daniel. I understand that you being a commoner, you don't understand this advanced economic stuff. You see, after you get your triple doctorate in economics, you work for the Federal Reserve for 20 years, then you go sit on this thing and that board and that thing. The solution, it was very complicated, is just print off more money. Money printer go burn. Now, I don't expect a layman like you, Daniel, to understand that. Because it's very complex. But we need to just give people as much money as possible. There you go. I won't explain it because I don't think you can understand. No, this is why I hate economists. This is why economics is not a real field. Why economists should just shut the fuck up and go away. Unless you're like a conservative one that actually advocates doing the opposite of what Keynesians and modern day. All these fuckwits, all these fucktards did. They went to school for 8 years to study how economies grow, how to get people out of poverty. And the solution is the same fucking shit every dipshit empire inevitably ended up doing. That is print off more money. Well, you didn't have to go to school for that, you fucking morons. Well, you don't understand. See, the Federal Reserve sells government. Shut the fuck up. What happened to the money supply? Oh, it went up by 500%. I wonder if we're going to have 500% inflation. I don't care. I get my cryptocurrency. I got my 200 ounces of silver. I got my guns. Do whatever you want. I'm the mutt. Remember, like, I don't know if any of you saw that documentary, like, what would live in a post-apocalyptic world? And you find out, well, like, any kind of dog, like, well, what dogs would live? Any kind of dog that was bred to be too much of a purebred, like wiener dogs got no shot. They got no shot. None. Your French bulldogs, they're gone. Your chihuahuas, they're gone. Pit bulls, they got bad. Same thing with German shepherds, they're gone. Doberman pinschers, gone. The ones that would be are the mutts. And I am the mutt. I am the American mutt. Okay? I got it all covered. Currency collapses, I got crypto. I got precious metals. I got a gun. You get deplatformed, that's okay. I got accounting skills and I save my money. And I have rental property. I could still live. This thing happened. That thing happened. What? Oh, I won't be doing as good as I am now. None of you will be. But I'll live. I'll get through it. So money printer go burr. Oh, I guess I own some stocks. I own property. I guess after all the money gets in everybody's hands and they buy their dildos or whatever fucking degenerate fucking parasites do with their government checks, that money is immediately deposited into a bank. The bank lends it out to people who buy property and stocks. And that's, I guess it's not that the value of my property went up. It's not. It's the price of my property or my assets or my crypto or whatever went up by the amount of inflation. I didn't gain a real gain. It just kept up with inflation. And one would argue when you sell it and you have capital gains, you actually lose out there a little bit too. Come on. What we going to do? Well, I thought I was going to die last year with cancer. What are you going to do? Go. Come on. Joe Jones, $4.99. Search YouTube Rochester, New York store owner pulls with shotgun and blasts away. I think he's still alive to talk about it, right? I've done enough this weekend dealing with the bullshit. Taboo Smash for $5. Hey, does a consent form really protect you from false rape accusation or text message is enough? It doesn't protect you. Anyone can accuse you of anything. Did we not learn that? Hang on, let's pull this up again. The Pence principle. You know who those people are? There's Vice President Pence. There's that Blasey Ford bitch. And there's now Justice Kavanaugh. Do we remember this? She claimed 36 years ago, Kavanaugh, I can't even remember, like he laid on top of her. And half the fucking population believed her. Biden, I don't know where the accusation was from the other gal. Like when he was running for vice president, do you think, with under Obama, wasn't that the time? Now it comes out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They'll come out with it. A consent form will help. What if you've never met this woman in your life before? Perfect example would be E. Jean. E. Jean accused President Trump of raping her at one time. He's never met her. Or maybe he did, but, Trump was taking pictures as a celebrity. I could accuse you, Taboo, of stealing my wiener dog that would not make it through the post-apocalyptic world. Oh, Taboo stole my wiener dog. Well, where is it? I don't know. You buried it. Well, where's your evidence? I don't know. I can accuse you. But if you did have sex with a girl and you have a consent form that says, yes, I did it, that would help. Here's the thing. Do you got to get a consent form every time you have sex? Do you have to film her saying that? Will a text after that help? Yes, it will help. But how many extents? I mean, and in the end, again, I want to believe in humanity because it's the only team in town. But if it's going to come to this, yeah, you know what? I really am not with the MGTOWs all that much, but maybe you just go MGTOW. Maybe you just jerk off. Maybe it's like, yeah, no. Or it's going to be a one-night stand. We are filming this. You're signing this consent form, and that's it. You can't sue me. She was under stress. Did you get alcohol? You intimidated her. And here's what's great. You pay them? I paid her. Okay, well, you're on prostitution. Well, then it's kind of, that provides a little bit more legal. I paid her. That was it. She agreed. Because if I was going to rape her, why would I pay her? That's another one. I mean, it's so sad that it's become so toxic, and so that now it's just simpler and safer to pay a gal. It's that bad. But you know what? Jerking off for 5 minutes and being done with it and getting on with your life, maybe that's a little bit better. Are we done? Did we catch up? Am I caught up? I am. All right. Let me sign out here. Let me take a break, and then I'll come back and I'll do we got articles and things. Give me a second. All right, that looks a little bit better. All right, make sure we're cleaned up. Oh, one more came in. Go walk around, smoke a cigar. Ran 4 miles yesterday, so I'm pretty good. Just buy a fleshlight. Got it? No, what? That's the weirdest fucking shit. No. 14 czars. What are czars? I'm not gonna look that up. All right. Here's the one thing I'm going to. Everything I've said has been probably said before. It's the only new thing I'm going to add to the Twin Cities bullshit. And then we're moving on because my life is too short. Leftists are hurting each other. I confused as I am about the human side of that. I'm not going to let it bother me anymore. It's hard. It's hard because it's like, why are humans so fucking stupid? I'm going to connect. And this is important because it's not just here. This just evidences this observation I've had. This reality, but I'm going to connect and draw parallels between the Richie McRich white kids in the suburbs and the ghetto black trash, if you want to call it that, in the ghetto. And this is something all races, not necessarily just black and white, but all people really need to understand because this is how this happened. Okay. And this is foolish of me. No one's going to listen. I'm just doing this now so that when I'm dead 500 years from now and everyone's banging rocks and by some miracle the internet still works, they'll say, hey, he described why we've been banging rocks for the past 500 years. Huh? And this would solve all race relations, frankly, but who fucking cares about that, right? The people protesting, rioting, looting, destroying, it ain't just the black people. Okay, and there's a reason for that because the uniting thing, what instigated all this may have been racial. That certainly is true. A black man was killed by a white cop. But the unacceptable behavior where you are destroying your own neighborhood, looting, rioting, etc., that is a truly diverse group of people. Certainly there are black members participating in that, but there is your Antifa, social justice warrior, white folk doing the same. And the reason you have these feral, Frankenstein monsters, destroying your own town, by the way, ladies and gentlemen who are on the left, if you care to listen, is because you spoiled them fucking rotten. And it doesn't matter if you came from the ghetto or the barrio or the trailer park, or if you came from Winnetka, Wayzata, or whatever rich, the Hamptons, I don't know, what's the rich area in New York City? When you give your children all the free shit in the world and you do not raise them, either because you don't know your father, because that's typically the case in quote unquote the ghetto, or your dad's around but either got divorced, there's a non-participatory dad because he doesn't, and wife's a ball buster, as is typically the case in the suburbs. When you don't raise your children and you give them everything, they become worthless, feral, rioting, egotistical fucks. And I say, Aaron, in the ghetto, they don't get any. No. They do. I will make the argument that the ghetto trailer park, well, it could be the same thing, doesn't matter. The poor black kid in the ghetto has a very, very, very similar upbringing to the rich elitist Wayzata prissy putz in the suburb in one key area, and that is everything is paid for. Now, the kid in Wayzata may have more money because it's daddy, Toddy, make me money. And I'll tell you this little dirty secret about Wayzata or any rich people in general that you think are rich. They're not. It's just that dad has the ability to borrow money. I saw that in banking. That's why when the housing crisis came, there's so many for sale signs in Lake Minnetonka, but never mind with that bullshit. The whole point is whether the dad actually has the money or is borrowing the money. These suburbanite, privileged little white fucks are pampered. They're privileged little white fucks. They're spoiled little quanta-ha-has. So they never have to work hard. Oh, they play hockey. Oh, good for fucking them. Did they make it to state? Well, giggity fucking goo. Nothing's too good for daddy's little princess. Nothing's too good for daddy's little son. And you have now sports. I'll grant you this. Ghetto or doesn't matter, ghetto or suburb. Sports discipline, develop some discipline so you get a little bit of a work ethic there. So let's take that out of that. But what is generated is usually your typical soy boys. Your proud feminist, 17-year-old woman, girl. She got a degree. And then where do they go? They go to McAllister. They go to St. Thomas. They go to St. Kate's. They go to the University of Minnesota. What do they major in? Well, they're not going to major in anything hard. Dad wasn't around to instill discipline or work ethic. Mother was just like, you're just the amazing, great thing ever. And my little princess needs her own SUV. They come from a pampered, spoiled background. They never have to work. They never have to suffer. They never have to sacrifice. And may I point out, Betsy Hodges, look up her background. She's the former mayor of Minneapolis. And she is a privileged white bitch. She had done nothing. Nothing. Look at her entire life. It's all work avoidance. She majored in bullshit studies. She's going to help the black. Hey, did Betsy Hodges help you black people in North Minneapolis? Things are all better now, right? You guys are all cool. Like you got as much money as the people in Edina, right? Good old Betsy Hodges solved that problem. Just like Barack Obama, right? You guys are all cool now, right? Wage gap, life expectancy gap, that's all closed now, right? These privileged Betsy Hodgeses, that's all that's out there right now is just younger, poorer Betsy Hodgeses. Go and major in the most worthless, lazy shit. But not just lazy shit, egotistical shit, because they can't just major in English. They got to major in social justice or save the poor people or save the minorities or this studies or that studies. And because it's all about work avoidance, because they've never actually been forced to work, what they end up doing is going into, well, I'm intelligent, and that's all they've heard. That's all they've heard. You're amazing. You're a girl, especially the one, you got a vagina. You're just amazing. It's like, no, you are like just as common as males. Like you're a female. Okay, there's 3.5 billion of you. You're not special. And you go and what do they all do? Engineering, trade school, military, medicine, medical school, Nursing? No. They go save the world, change lives, help thy children. And that's all code word to I'm a spoiled, lazy, white privileged fuck from the suburbs who doesn't want to work. And I'm so egotistical, like Betsy Hodges, I'm going to go tell other people what to do. Then they major in political science, or they major in African American studies, or they major whatever, anything that doesn't produce a fucking thing of economic value or worth to society. And then they become your political leaders. And you dumbass motherfuckers vote these worthless fucking vermin in because they promise you free shit. And North Minneapolis still isn't doing too well. Eastside St. Paul ain't doing too well. Oh, Melvin Carter, look him up too. See if that little fucking pussy ever work a real job in his life, which he hasn't, by the way, if you want to save yourself the time looking it up. But to see if I'm right or wrong or lying, please do. Please look him up. So these privileged, genuinely privileged, not the political term privileged, these genuinely pampered and privileged people. You can't even say white. It's disproportionately white, but you get someone like Melvin Carter who never worked a job in his life. It must be nice to be. Barack Obama is another perfect example. How nice would it be? That guy, rich white grandmother. Holy shit. Are you in banking? Do you make lots of money? Oh, I'm so oppressed. My grandmother only gave me $250,000 to live and smoke pot and, go to Harvard. Oh, I'm president now. That literally is Barack Obama's career. He dipped his little toe to be a state senator. I think maybe he washed the toilet one time. I don't know. So you have all this indoctrination and brainwashing going into what is predominantly privileged, or at least not horribly off white kids. Okay. And oh my God, the injustice, and you have privilege and and you should feel bad. And you know what? They're not smart. They don't have iron minds. These are not intellectuals. These are not philosophers. These are dumb motherfucking 70-year-old spoiled brat quantahas whose mommy and daddy are renting everything, including the boat they can't afford on Lake Minnetonka. They have no anchoring in the real world. They've never worked at a shop. They've never bust tables, nothing. And then they go to McAllister, and then they go to the U of M, and then they go to whatever fucking Bethel, whatever bullshit schools that are of no value in the entire state of Minnesota. And then some equally worthless, washed up boomer fuck who did the same thing back in 1968. We have these theories and things and stuff, and oh my God, what a coincidence. You don't have to work. You're right. You're heroic. And it's the evil, fill in the blank. Jews, whites, males, Asians, aliens that are oppressing you. And all you have to do is promise people free shit and blame their stupid choices, predominantly having more kids than you could afford, on other groups of people. Now, I ask you, aside from dollar amount, how does that materially differ from some poor kid or that grew up in the ghetto? You don't have daddy Warbucks. You do have daddy government. Your dad is not participatory because he ain't fucking around. Because frankly, ladies, you spread your legs for fucking dirtbags and you want the government checks. Your mom probably ain't around because she loves the government check more than you. They ship you off to school because they don't want to fucking raise you. And then you're indoctrinated in what? Holy cow, the exact same Marxist socialist bullshit that your rich white counterparts were brainwashed into. So you have free food, you have free clothing, you got free housing, everything's free, it's paid for. You have, in essence, a Wyzetta dad, but it's a government check. It's not as much. Certainly you don't get the convertible cabriolet. That's an old throwback. None of you are going to get that. You don't get a free car, but you have everything taken care of. And then you are steeped in the exact same Marxist leftist dependency victimhood, woe is me bullshit that your white counterparts were in Wayzata or Edina or any other suburb that ends with a vowel. And then you're like, what are you going to do? You going to join the military? You're going to go get your CPA? You're going to become a doctor? No, you're going to what, boys and girls? Change the world. Change lives. Help the children, which at the fundamental level, this is where there is no color, there's no gender. You're all a bunch of lazy fucks who didn't want to do math. That's it. And given the brainwashing and indoctrination you receive from fucking 5 years old, that's why I hate teachers, guys. That's why I hate teachers. They lie to you when you're a fucking 5-year-old child that you're oppressed, and it's evil white people, and it's the males, it's the patriarchy, it's the corporations, the dead. And what do? I'm going to, and here, may I point out in my defense, Your Honor, that I am not sexist or racist, because you know what one of the biggest groups of victims actually are is minority women who go to law school who think they're going to fucking change the world because their worthless liberal arts degree wasn't bad enough. That wasn't worthless enough. Then you motherfucking leftists, you Frankenstein doctors, lie to these minority women who are already admittedly at a disadvantage to go further in debt, and not for a $5,000 ring, not for a $2,000 purse or a $3,000 pair of Prada shoes or Jimmy Choo shoes, whatever. You go $250,000 into debt for law school. And there is a surplus of lawyers. There's way too many. And then they graduate some bullshit. And the emphasis, you lying sack of shit leftist Frankenstein doctors tell these poor people, literally poor, but mentally, financially, environmentally, familially poor. You lie to them to go more into debt so you can make $250,000 as law professors because you couldn't hack it in the real world as lawyers yourself. So you got to go teach law. And now you dump them out when they're 30. They got lip. They got attitude. No guy wants to fuck them. No guy wants to be. They're completely incapable of being a wife. Well, and they're a financial liability. You fucking destroy. This is, if any Antifa members are listening to this, please heed this. I'm trying to point out who your real enemy is and why you are the way you are. So tell me now what the difference is between the privileged white pussy who came from Wyzetta and the ghetto kid, male, female, doesn't matter. I know I gave a female example. I just wanted to point that out, how the leftists totally don't care that you're female. They want your fucking money, ladies. Now you're 26. You finally finished whatever your fucking worthless degree in bullshit studies. You have a ton of debt, which has no, and your education has no bearing or use or value in the real world. And now you're fucked. And none of you, lily white suburb kids, ghetto black kids, Latinos, whatever, none of you have the ability or the intelligence to be independent minded because nobody ever trained you to be. You were just told what to think this entire time. And now you're at the exact same psychology, philosophy, and whether you actually have a rich parent or not, or you have a government backing you up or not, you actually have pissed away all of your youth on a worthless education. You don't see it that way. All you have is an ideology. All you have is a program. You got a code to follow and execute. And now you go and execute it because this is unjust. And now all it takes is an unfortunate poor black guy getting killed by a white cop. That fits the profile. Green light, go. Never mind the white gal that was killed by the black cop. Never mind that. No, that's different. And it's amazing how many rationalizations I saw within the anti-cop community. There's no video. But the cop got arrested and got jailed. I think he's serving 12 years now. Is there no justice? It doesn't matter. Does it? Because you're all brainwashed. None of you have the ability to think. And now I got to sit there as somebody who actually, by the way, I'd like to live and have you leave me the fuck alone. Now I got to worry about, oh, do I got to kill somebody in defense and worry about whether I'm going to get with a murder charge or not? And that is what you're seeing happening in the Twin Cities. And you could say arguably in other countries as well. You have people, doesn't matter where they came from, what the race is, what the gender is, that had everything paid for. You had absentee fathers, be it deadbeat fucking ghetto trash that you just shoot your sperm in any, whatever piece. My God, You black dudes will fucking put sperm in anything. Holy shit. I've seen some of these single moms. Like, what? How? and you have like 3 baby daddies, like 3 men found you attractive. What the fuck? Or you're the pussy, lily white, suburbanite dad who doesn't do jack fuck all shit to raise your fucking kids. Either because you are a genuine pussy, or your wife will fucking divorce you if you dare instill any discipline. And you just like can't wait to praise your children up. You send worthless, completely programmable, brainwashed children from the K through 12 system into a college system that then radicalizes them and turns them into completely worthless robots. And that's what you have now. It is not black or white. Yeah, it was instigated because of a racial event. But now you have your Frankenstein monsters because, frankly, fathers are too fucking irresponsible to raise their children. Mothers just can't wait to sing their children's praises because of genetics, not whether they're actually good children or not. And teachers have a fucking agenda to brainwash you, get teachers and professors. Waiting for the day, be you black or white, well, maybe you're Latino or Asian or whatever, you're protesting. Okay, waiting for the day for you motherfuckers to wake up. Waiting for you to realize who your real enemy is. You know, like it ain't whitey, it ain't the suburb people have fucking nothing to do with you. It's your parents and teachers and professors and politicians who have lied to you this entire time. And you have nothing else to live for except to riot and protest. Oh, are you bringing it to the man? Good for you. I wonder what communism version 18.0 will look like this time. That's it. That's all this is. That's all this is. It is a bunch of brainwashed idiots, a bunch of brainwashed morons who came from privileged backgrounds, whether that privilege was the government paid for everything and gave you all in it, or you came from actual private sector wealth, it was paid for everything. And then the indoctrination of hatred and bigotry that you got instilled in you. Oh, by the way, you went $150,000 in debt for over at McAllister College to learn about. That's it. That's who these people are. You want to kill each other? You want to blow each other up? Knock yourselves out. I'm out. I'm done. I've said my piece. I've pointed out what it is. And I've painted a path out of this bullshit for you. Like in the housing bubble, the education bubble, all these major problems. But you know what? Something tells me here's where laziness comes in, boys and girls. The most powerful force in the universe is laziness. And you guys don't want to do the work. Because to actually make something of your lives, you'd have to become accountants or engineers or doctors or soldiers or cops or nurses. Teachers, no, that's not a job. And you'd rather bitch whine because you get the immediate feels. Because let's just be honest, you're a bunch of lazy fucking kids from the suburbs. All of you. And that includes you fucking assholes from the ghetto. You guys are spoiled little cunts. Just like all the other kids from the suburbs. There's no difference. None. That's why you're on the same team. Because you all don't want to work. And this is me talking to the Frankenstein monsters. I don't know why I'm trying. Again, I know what posterity. Here's the ant 500 years from now. What happened? Hey, there's this crazy guy on the internet said these things. I think it works. I don't know. I've written it here. I'll be honest about this one. Let me be truly honest about this one. It was the great one. Me and the great one were talking, and he's like, "Why can't you get the young sub?" They couldn't because we're talking. Yes, now I remember this conversation coming back to me. Several young people that meant a lot to me in my life, which now I've no one listened to me, and it hurt. It hurt. Multiple people in my life are like, hey, well, yeah, okay, let's go. And then you're the only idiot that charges forward. And you're like, what? And that really turned me into the misanthrope. And we're talking within the past year, guys, where I hope I'm cheering on Coronachan. I want people to die. That's how much I hate society. So I have no hope, because even the people on my team ended up becoming hypocrites and liars and frauds. And I'm like, wow. Like, we're here this one shot. None of you motherfuckers are going to take advantage of this life, huh? Apparently it's just me. You're all okay watching your fucking television, aren't you? Oh my fucking God, fuck you. So the great one was trying to, like, well, how do you get people to wake up? I'm like, you don't. And he's like, well, how do you get? And I said, I have had more luck and success getting minority men, both black. I know we focus on blacks because that's obviously the rise, but there's Latinos. I mean, we can't forget Juan, right? We can't. How can we forget Juan? Both Juans, by the way. Because black men and Latino men and immigrants too, they reached out to me like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And I was, this is why I wrote The Black Man's Guide to Poverty, because there was, all of a sudden I was like, a third of my requests were coming from non-white dudes. And I'm like, there is demand. And that's how bad the brainwashing is with trillions and generations of government dollars and Democrat brainwashing your fucking whores of Jesse Jackson and fucking Al Sharpton. Maybe they go play on some train tracks or something with magnets and leaded weights. I was like, I have a better success rate convincing young black men and young Latino men to heat up and like get the fuck out of the ghetto or the barrio, for you Latinos out there, to wake the fuck up and achieve it. And I've seen it. And you guys send me emails and I get the email like, hey, Cappy, 4 years ago, you kicked my ass, da-da-da. Now I'm a second lieutenant over in the United States Army and I got the G. I'm like, fuck yeah. I have not convinced one privileged little pussy white person in the burbs to not major in stupid shit, to consider anything. And maybe that is the benefit, if you will, of being brought up poor, being brought up in the ghetto or the barrio, where you're like, there's a little bit more realism. There's a little bit more of a fire under your ass. And that's why, this book actually is probably way more successful than Worthless, because I've had minority men. That's maybe the audience I should be saying, like, you're not, what? You're going to get the limp-wristed Antifa fucks to set down their fucking guns or their mask. Like, hey, why don't you go major in engineering? I've had more success getting minorities. Hell, look at fucking Anthem. Nobody likes, does anybody like Anthem? Nobody likes Anthem. Who can like Anthem? But chemical engineering major. Juan, well, you got this one. I mean, another dirty, no good Mexican. I think he's American. He's born here. Mechanic. And he went through the trials and tribulations. He went through the harshness. And now he's like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of San Francisco. That is about the only hope, really. It's the only hope. Yeah. But getting the brainwashed, privileged little white kids who had their asses pampered. And that's the most brilliant thing I love, because I've seen it happen. So you guys want dirt? You guys want dirt? You want to feel good about yourselves? The number of times I saw in banking where it was this pussy fucking arrogant piece of shit, middle-aged white fuck dude trying to keep up this false empire to make his wife think he had money, to keep his kids going to private school. They all have to afford it. I'd look at their balance sheet. I'm like, dude, I look at their income statement, the tax returns. I'm like, what the fuck? You just borrow your money to keep. They were just keeping up the facade. It's not real. There's nothing to be jealous of. And then when the slightest blip comes, now, the housing crisis was more than a little blip. All these fuckers were out. They were gone. Filing for bankruptcy. What? Oh, the number of divorces. Oh. So, perhaps fuck Antifa. Fuck you privileged white kids from the suburbs. You ain't going to listen. You're too egotistical. For those of you who happen to be of a minority race, or maybe you just brought up poor, like genuinely poor, let's not throw the trailer park folk. We get a couple of those in here too. All right, you guys done with this shit? Are you sick and tired? Do you want it? Is that your plan? You're going to go rob a Target, huh? Oh, you're gonna go burn down the CVS so your grandma can't get her drugs anymore to live no more. Now she got to drive an extra 10 minutes. She can't even drive. Is that it? Is that your plan? I'm not talking to the NPCs. I'm not talking to the Frankenstein monsters. I'm talking to any motherfucker who will listen with an independent mind. Is that what you fucking want? Or do you want to end that? Do you want to get out of this? The current people, the current generations of this is why I wrote How Not to Become a Millennial with Gen Z in mind, because they're not brainwashed fully yet. There's still hope. I have no hope for millennials. I have no hope for people already. They're going to go that way. But for anyone who happens to be a minority, are you done being poor? I know the liberal white lady from McAllister with their education degree said the bad white man do bad things. I know. She like everyone's been telling you for 40 years. Okay, let's just assume that's true. Now what? Whine, complain, boo-hoo-hoo. Or maybe join the military, get the GI Bill, major in engineering. And then you know what? You could still believe it's the evil bad white man because the McAllister lady who's 23 years old, who came from the privileged white background like Betsy Hodges, told you to boo-hoo-hoo. But then at least you boo-hoo-hoo making 85 fucking grand a year as a chemical engineer. Okay? You could still feel the burn. Oh, I'm oppressed. It's that simple, isn't it? You can feel oppressed making $12,000 a year, or you could feel oppressed, still subscribe. You could still vote Democrat, making $85,000 a year with your neighborhood not fucking burnt down. Not asking you to join the Libertarian Party. Not asking you to vote for Ronald Reagan. Just some simple stuff. You can still be Democrat, and you won't be for long if you make 85 grand, because like 40 of it will go to taxes. You're like, hey, wait a second. Still be Democrat. You can still blame Whitey for everything. You can, system, patriarchy, whatever bullshit you want. Would you rather make 85 grand and not have your neighborhood burnt down, where you could go to your local bar and get away from the wife and have a cigar? Okay. Or would you rather make 12 grand with your neighbor? It doesn't matter how much money you make, because you can't spend your money because there's nowhere to spend your money on, because there's nothing to buy. And then you're still blaming Whitey and still voting Democrat and for pussies like Jacob Fry to, I don't know what he does, but make you feel better. Just pointing it out. The eternally lazy human mind. All right. So that was that. Let's scroll through the podcast here. Nope, we did that one. Oh. Let's scroll back up. Hang on. Nonstop. Hey, Dre's in the house. What's up, Dre? I saw you there. We'll get to your chat there. I think your chat is next. Okay. Nonstop Dre for $5. They say fathers aren't needed and work is hard. What do you think would happen if all colleges banned liberal arts fields? Worth it? That you put the cart before the horse there, Dre. You think that it is the degree that's causing the laziness. Laziness is inherent to human survival, because that's how we survived. You didn't expend, because calories were precious. Food was rare. Starvation, literally until 200 years ago, was the biggest problem that humans had. So to conserve energy, to be lazy, is actually in your long-term genetic survival interest. Now, in the world of plenty, where it's like, well, if you work hard, you're going to make a lot of money. You could have fun things. People are still going to, so you could say, if you ban the liberal arts, people would still be lazy. They're still going to watch the soap operas. They're still going to, I don't know where it is, like where you are, Dre, but there's like this trailer trash community within the city, if that makes any sense. Predominantly white as well, but I guess not necessarily restricted to that, but it's predominantly white. And they live in the city and they didn't go to college, and there's nothing wrong with not going to college, but then they did nothing fucking else with their lives. And these are the people that are like, they tune in the Kardashians. They go, they become hairdressers. They work the shitty job. They have their kids, and and they're all fat. That's another trait. They're all fat. They have no ambition at all in life. They don't realize they're going to die. And so you could eliminate all the liberal arts majors. You only have degrees that are worthwhile. I think they would, what would end up happening is they start nonprofits and like try to champion. So there's like this ego group. So there's your standard city or rural trailer trash that would just do nothing. They get pregnant, they watch their soaps, they work their shitty jobs, and they complain. They're CNAs, and they complain that all the real nurses with their degrees and the nurse practitioners and Tina and whatever else. But then the people who are too egotistical, where they couldn't get like a piece of paper that says, you be educated with doctorate in social work. I'm so smart. They take that off the table. They'd find something else. Let's go back in U.S. history. You would find prohibitionists. You'd find all the ladies with their fucking clubs. It'd be disproportionate women that would form groups. Men would follow because they want pussy. But they'd form some kind of political organization, anything to avoid real work. Anything to avoid real work. So it wouldn't go away, but I guess it would quarantine them to like shut the fuck up and go away. Oh, you're against all men having fun, huh? You're the anti-cigar, booze, and steak club. Wow. You're a fun lot of women to hang out with. You're the men should like fat women club. Wow, I can't wait. Yeah, let me get behind that. Oh. Joe Jones, where's Kevin McCober? Is he protesting it? I don't know. Where did Kevin go? Our resident socialist who earns his keep he pays to make his comments known. I know where he went. Yeah, it is kind of a naked feeling without him throwing in some leftist Marxist bullshit. Josh Landrum in the house. Obleski 10 for 5 British pounds. I don't know if those are British pounds. It could be other pounds. 2 or 3 peers from my old school went and became mechanical engineers, and they're still indoctrinated leftists. Yeah, that happens. There's another couple where I know this guy's a computer engineer. Married. They are both rich little children. This is what I was talking about. They were both from the rich suburbs. Mom and dad were rich people. I knew his wife, and I think they're still in the Twin Cities, and they have white children. Have fun with that. You should send your kids for diversity. You should get those kids introduced to diversity. Yeah, it happens, man. And, IQ is only one thing. That doesn't mean you're going to be independent-minded. Plenty of smart, brilliant leftists and liberals. Plenty. Ego is more powerful. And these mechanical engineers, I don't know how many times I've seen the engineer or the programmer or whatever, the guy who does all the real work, and then wifey poo, because she has the vagina, she works some bullshit, completely worthless job. Makes 10, 20 grand, whatever, some bullshit thing. And she's equal to him because she has a doctorate. She has a master's in babysitting. Rah, rah, rah. Good, they pay the taxes. They subsidize. Shh, Obleski, let them pay. Let them pay. I like cheap roads. I don't know about you. I like having a defense. Let him pay. If their wives are hot, then maybe fuck them. So I don't know. Aaron, you wouldn't fuck another man's wife, would you? Not even if she was attractive. It would just be like, are you a leftist? I can see the temptation of cucking. I could see it like, you're this leftist fucking putz who's voted to make my life harder and enslave me at an incrementally higher tax level. What would happen if I had you raise my kid? And unknowingly so. It's like, It's tempting. It's tempting. Oh, but then I'd have to fuck your wife. She'd probably come after me after you guys do. Vasectomy for the win. Vasectomy, yeah. Are the wounds in society even worth healing? No, they're not. Society's dead. What, you think there's a society? I love how we're going to save our great community of Minneapolis. Oh, fuck you. Foster, Fry, no, Melvin Foster? Yeah. Melvin, Jacob, when you're done licking each other's pussies, telling each other how great and wonderful, you're brave and amazing. When you're done like coming over yourselves over at McAllister College as some kind of nuanced kind of like art display, and you start saying, we have beautiful, amazing community. No, you don't. You don't. You have Frankensteins, little Frankensteins, and a bunch of pussy aging liberal white people who are guilty and won't stand up for them because you won't let them stand up for themselves. You have shitholes. There's not a wound. There's not a viable entity. Just fuck off. Just fuck off. What's really great is when they award each other a award. We give you the award for outstanding service in the field of public service. Whoa. Meanwhile, literally, the city is burning around them. How much you want to bet these two fucking dipshits, these two fucking pussies who can't get up from their tongues off of each other's vaginas, they're going to get awards? How much you want to bet these fucking two dipshits are going to get awards? And Waltz is going to get an award too. Waltz really looks like just this dipshit. What's going on? Him and Biden. Huh? What? Where am I? What? Neither of those two pussies listened to the show. Nonstop Dre for $5. I've pissed off so many people in college when I pointed out how brainwashed and soft most people are in society. I'm so happy I went to the Marines at 17. Yeah, man. I mean, you would here, even though Dre's black and we don't like black people on this show. I will point this out. Dre was at one time a worthless fuck, and he will admit, yeah, when I was 13, I was a stupid shit. I was a stupid, dumbass shit at 13. And then you have a choice. You could continue to be that worthless, dumbass shit in your teen years and get by in the minimum amount, or you could commit yourself to something now. Trey committed himself to the Marines. I went through college and I paid for it myself, but there is usually a galvanizing process that takes the coal and turns it into a diamond, that takes the pig iron and turns it into steel. And Dre is that. Permit me a little bit of pride. I am that because none of you motherfuckers went through that fucking bullshit that I did. Patrolling and not sleeping and not having no fucking food. And at the end comes out a better man or woman, but you got to go through the pain. Betsy Hodges is just as mature and competent as she was 13. Not Mark Frey. Jacob Frey, our pussy mayor, their pussy mayor. He's no different than when he was 12. Guarantee you had rich parents. I don't even, Bill, you should do a Cleary test on Jacob Frey. Why? Why would I? Why? I don't have to. He came from the suburbs. He's a rich little fuck. Parents paid for everything. Majored in stupid shit. Never worked a real job. He was the most popular, connected, rich kid in Kenwood. Okay, we done now? Wow, and he's at the head, and now there's a real problem. Maybe you should ban more straws and ban plastic bags. Huh, Jacob? I love how then they rely on real men in the National Guard and the police to actually do their work for them. They're just fucking pussies. Fucking pussies. Anyway, the point is, Dre, you're not, are you steel? Are you diamonds? Why are you trying to talk to coal and pig iron? Coal and pig iron don't know that. They don't know that. They just were told what their teachers told them, how amazing and brave they are as unrefined pig iron and common lumps of coal. They don't even know the concept of what it's like to be a steel or diamond. They don't. They don't know what it is to be a car. All they know is to be the iron in the ground and the plastic and the petroleum. They don't know what it's like to actually become something. They merely exist. And you're trying to like point out how brainwashed and so, what, you trying to moral and sermonize them? I might as well go down to Minneapolis tonight and like, hey, let me tell you about Miesian economics. Let me tell you about the Austrian School of Economics. What you're doing is all wrong. Wow. Young Sykes, $5. Cappy, that rant is exactly why I love you. Do good. I don't know, share, friend, whatever. Tell people. $50 for $5. Build barracks behind your South Dakota home. Your followers will reside there. Shave their heads and send them off to the airport as Cleary Christian. No. $50. You think I'm too good. I'm not. I am not the person you think I am. I literally am cheering on coronavirus. Like I said, this past year has been very dark because it is the future. And there was a couple kids I had like, oh yeah, and no. And then I have some friends where like, oh no. You think you're just because they say they're conservative. It's not even about politics. Like, you think they're good people, and then when the rubber hits the road, you find out they're just the same parasitic fucks. They're worse than the Democrats. At least the Democrats say, I want your money because I'm a lazy fuck. And they hide it behind, isms and things. But when you have these people that pound on the table how conservative, like, yeah, these guys are morally right. At least there's Pope. And then they stab you in your back, or it turns out that they're a bunch of lazy fucks. No, you're like, burn it all. Burn it all. DT, blackbrigade.org. Burn it all. And I can count, even with my reach, with both my hands, the number of people I trust who've proven it. And it's a very select few. And so I'm not going to send out acolytes. I'm not going to change the world. I'm not going to save. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to save people. I'm going to make it different. Nope. Burn, motherfuckers. You all burn. Burn a lot. Just give me your fucking money so my life before I die and my sentience ends is like, and you know what? I'm going to sell you gasoline so you can burn it. And you guys are dumb enough to fucking buy it and set yourselves on fire. That's what's happened in the past year. There's no Clary cult. There's my bucks. There you go. Here's my phone. If you want to follow it, go ahead. The next stage is taking all the money back from disproportionately women that voted for higher taxes and took my money away from me, that led me along, stood me up, wasted my time and my money. If you want to view this as a lawsuit, mental pain and anguish or whatever, like, getting stood up, like, what did I do wrong? No, for decades, well, not decades, a decade max about that. I'm getting that back and tenfold when this is done. And by the way, some men, don't worry, men, leftist men, I'm getting your money too. It's going to happen. You can jack up whatever taxes you want. I'm going to take it right back from you and tenfold because I have brilliant ideas. Brilliant. And I am going to fuck you. You think your professors fucked you up? Taking 150 grand, ruining your lives forever? You think that's fucking you up? You just wait till I'm through with you. And you guys, just like your professors, you'll pay me. And you'll think I'm the greatest man ever. It's going to be so much fun. Problem is, it's going to take work. And then it present like, well, do I really want to do Operation Evil? I got enough. I don't really need more. Nonstop Dre, $2. This podcast sponsored by CNN, NPR, and Oprah. No. They won't like me. Omen Crimson, $10. Latino here. Caught you on Rich Cooper's channel a while back. Bought and read through Bachelor Pad Economics and Worthless. Your books and channel have really opened my eyes and hope. Good, man. I hope so. Emails and texts like this that make, it's kind of like, because you all gonna die. And frankly, I'm of the opinion I won't be around. Like, I won't be looking down from heaven, watching the game, as it were, like, oh, there goes my team. Yay, Team America, world police. I think it'll be over. And so I put an incredible amount of importance on the here and now. And the only game in town, the only team is Team Human. We should be trying to get off this planet, figure out unravel the universes, trying to figure out why we're here, find out if there's other people or things around. And so when hey, I helped one guy, we saved one shellfish. Where it's like, hey, I'm not going to waste my life. Good, man. Good to hear that, Omen. I appreciate the $10, and more so, I appreciate the fact that you're going to have a good time. Louis Ferry, czar. What the fuck is a czar? Is that Swiss francs? Or is that South African? South Africa. Oh, how good is he? 6 cents per dollar. What does that translate into? 6.06. A buck, I don't know. $2. I'm part of a white minority in South Africa, mechanical engineer. We're in the USA. Do I look for a new? Anywhere you can, Lou. You get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there. Anywhere. Marry a girl here. Whatever you got to do, man, get out of there. Mechanical engineer, though, I mean, it's if you were IT, I'd say Silicon Valley, but mechanical engineers, please apply. You should have applied last year when our employment was very little. Now I don't know. But you get the hell out of there. All right. We got Troy, Miguel, the other Latino nobody likes. Miguel. $2. I heard oppressed triggered. I find everything offensive. Yes, go riot and burn down buildings because that's the logical solution. That's the obvious logical. What would an Aaron Clary presidency look like? It'd be very interesting. It'd be different. What I would do is I'd rule by referendum. I would take more of a business approach, but it wouldn't be as sexy or as exciting as you think. It'd be like, look, okay, all right, you all want to be leftist motherfuckers. All right, fine. Can we do this at least the most efficient way possible? All right. You want nationalized healthcare? We're not doing this two-system tier bullshit or this hybrid monster. You want it? We're going to take a referendum. We're going to do referendums every 5 years to make sure we're still on these things. So efficiency, we either do plan A or plan B. We're not building a fighter plane that can carry cargo and refuel transport. We can't build that. What do you want? All right. That's what you guys want. Okay. But the only thing that I would say, well, there'd be two things, I guess. There'd be many things, but the two main things is I would have one tax because then we'd know pricing. Right now, there's a billion different taxes skewed and it's proportionate to progress. You don't know what you're paying for government. Nobody, you know what you pay for a Big Mac, you know what you pay for a gallon of gas. Nobody knows what to pay for government. This is why I love looking at government spending as a percentage of GDP because that's your price of government. And I have one national sales tax. And I would almost say to the states, you're having a sales tax. You're not doing property. You're not doing fees. You're not doing income. You're doing a fucking sales tax. Nobody has to file a tax return anymore. Companies are collecting the taxes. You still have an IRS, but now they're going after corporations instead of individuals because like, hey, did you pay the money you collected? We might audit you. So it'd be much more efficient. And then the American people would know, what are we paying for government? So when all the single moms of the world with their crotch fruit rat bastard children come on, we need free child care. And I'd be like, totally, okay, let's vote on that. We'll take a referendum. What say you, American people? And 60% says, let's help the children and the whore single mama. Cool. By the way, we ran some numbers, and that's going to jack up your national sales tax from 25% to 30%. And then people are like, wait a minute. What? It's not free? Huh? So I do that. So you know, like you can't just vote in free shit. Everyone pays. Here's your price. We can have it. I don't care. You want nationalized health care? You want to have the government blowjob brigade. We go get a bunch of women and we give men free blowjobs. All the men, yeah, I'll vote for that shit. I'm like, okay, that's 7% increase in your sales tax. What? Well, what do you want, guys? I'm here just to do what you want, but I'm also going to deliver the price. I would ban the Federal Reserve. We'd only print off money. What did GDP go up by? 3%? Print off 3% more money. There we go. That's it. Price stability. I would make education free. And I don't mean I would pay for it. I would probably say we're not funding any more colleges, and we're going to mandate by law that there's a testing system. You do not, there's no more college. You study online for free at your own pace. And then there's certification, like taking your CPA exam or your IT certifications. And I'd almost even say it's not government. It's going to be your respective industry. And then, and the government would more be the teeth like, oh, you think you're going to force kids to go get a 6-year degree education so they can sit for the CPA exam. That's funny. Charter or society of CPAs. Let's do a little bit of auditing into your finances, shall we? Oh, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, you are going to just make people take the test, huh? Okay, good. That's good. And that would free up hundreds of trillions of dollars for young people. That's kind of what it would be like. And then I don't know, I would, some universal laws like you are allowed to defend not only yourself, but your property. I don't care if you're on your property or not. You walk in, you see somebody in your house, you could shoot them. A lot of good Samaritan laws. That's what it would look like. Troy Kostelecki for $2. Thank you, Troy. Miguel Angel Casillas. I'll take no child support for 600 and vasectomy for the win. They don't get it, Miguel. They don't. All these guys, oh, you cut your dick off. It's like, no. The best thing you boys can do right now probably is looking at getting a vasectomy. Because then all you got to worry about is the government. No girl's going to come after you. I don't need child support. No, I don't. I really don't, because that's not my kid. Nonstop Dre, 360 for $5. After I got out of the Marines at 21, I became very misanthropic towards people in society. Now I'm just indifferent towards everything. Am I wrong for that? No, because if you get misanthropic, and that's where I'm at now, I got to let go. Yesterday I had a bad day. Well, I was just like, I'm like, they're leftists hurting leftists. Like, it still doesn't, you got to let go. You got to let go. And get used to being lonely. Get used to being by yourself. But otherwise, you're going to burn yourself out, getting pissed off at everybody. Are we done? Are we done now? We're done. Okay. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Check out the books. I've mentioned them before. I don't know. I think I've promoted all my shit. You guys know me. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? Oh, of course. I'm sorry. I knew there was something. Everybody, bow your heads. Dear great and merciful Coronachan, thank you for your non-sentient and zero fucks given truth. The teeth and threats that we have been missing so much in the real world that are yet necessary for us to value life, acknowledge truth, and love our fellow man. May your nature continue to expose the evil and parasitic among us, the lazy and those that put themselves above all others, our slave masters who kept us enslaved, teachers who can be replaced by YouTube, and the stupid and unprepared who ride for toilet paper when there is none. Bless us, O great Coronachan, and reward us, specifically those of us who were smart enough to have a 1 month supply of toilet paper and those who stocked up on 5.56 ammo as a matter of basic insurance policy. And may thine blessing come in the form of lower asset prices, less boomers, less traffic, cheap gas, and near-free airline flights in thy name, Wuhan, Wuhan, amen. And then Dre drops $2 more into the thing. No, you're not done. Yeah, you fucker. You fucker. All right. That's it. Check out the things, the stuff in the Wuhan and all that other good jazz. Cappy's got some work to do. Share this. Share it with anybody if they could be interested. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.